Go see it. All right. Go ahead and pull that out there.
Oh, okay.
It's 7 o'clock. Time to rock.
Really cleaning the handles. I was like wiping the door handle. I was like, oh shit.
All right. Let's go live. What's up, Buck fans? How are you? Ready for a little draft action tonight?
That's a terrible introduction, Scott.
I know. It's not 7 yet, so this is they're getting an extra minute or two.
Scott. I know.
Pregame. We're just testing it, make sure everything looks right.
Yeah.
Let's grab this right here. Let's bring this a little closer, shall we?
Most about a foot. Looks good.
Here we go. Excellent. Perfect. Okay.
Just let everybody know the camera takes 6 inches off my biceps. They're actually much bigger. So this camera is distorting.
Yeah. You're short. I have to put it like that. There we go.
You gonna sit on a sandbag?
You might have to, yeah. All right. So it is now technically 7 o'clock. Let's start the show since everyone's been patiently watching and waiting here.
Welcome, Pewter Report readers, listeners,
And viewers.
Yeah. To the 3rd annual Pewter Report draftcast.
Draft video cast.
This is Scott Reynolds.
Yep.
I am Trevor Sycamore. No, already.
No.
Let's rewind.
Yeah.
I'm Mark Cook. This is Scott Reynolds, along with Taylor Jenkins and Matt Matera.
Mhm.
We're going to be providing 3 straight days of coverage, wall-to-wall coverage, where you can interact with us via a computer, laptop,
Yep.
PC. Not the chat isn't working on the mobile part, but
Yeah.
anyway, we look forward to getting your thoughts. We've already got a ton of people in the chat room right now talking. And anyway, I'm just trying to look through some of the comments. There's somebody, hello from Scottsdale, hello from Southern California, longtime Bucks fan. Anyway, lots of stuff. So keep the comments coming if you've got some questions. We've got about an hour. You know, this gives us an opportunity to test things out, make sure everything's going well, and kind of pre-talk about the draft a little bit, because when 8 o'clock rolls around, the Cardinals will be on the clock.
Mhm.
Any major shakeup you think at number 1, or is it Kyler Murray?
It's either going to be Kyler Murray or Quinnen Williams.
Yeah.
I think that could be a bit of a shakeup there. But just wanted to thank Edmonton Electric and Security for being the title sponsor for not just this draft video cast, but also our draft previews and our draft coverage that you're going to be reading over the next 3 days. So you've probably seen a bunch of Edmonton Electric banners on the website. I'm sure they would appreciate it very much if you click on them, check out their home security services. I'm going to read a little statement here on behalf of Edmonton Electric. They are the official smart home and security company for pewterreport.com. So they're going to be with us all year long, not just with the draft, but also one of our major sponsors throughout the year on pewterreport.com. So thank them very much. And you can do that by clicking their banners and more importantly, becoming a customer of theirs. For the past 40 years, Edmonton Electric has been proudly serving Central Florida with electric services, and they're now proud to add state-of-the-art smart home technology to their repertoire of electrical services. So they've got the smart home technology and security systems, whether it's surveillance cameras, home theaters, whether it is smart lighting. Edmonton Electric and Security is automating your dream home. Click to find out more about controlling, monitoring, and securing your home by clicking on those banner ads and going to edmontonelectric.com and more importantly, having them come out and take a look at your home and get you set up with the home automation system that you need to keep your family safe and secure. Tomorrow starts now. From home automation controls to structured wiring and surveillance systems, Edmonton Electric and Security has the team to keep your home current. Call 813-910-3403 for additional information or visit edmontonelectric.com. Control, monitor, secure.
So what you're saying, Scott, is the way we do it in Plant City is we tend to just chain up some pit bulls around our double wide for security. But you're telling me Edmonton can actually come out, even do cameras and things like that?
Yeah, let's smile for the picture here. We're getting a
I smile.
There There we go.
All right.
All right. Publicity picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. The pit bulls are effective. You can also get sued if they bite somebody,
Didn't think
even
about
on your
that.
property. So
Yeah.
this is probably the best way to go with Edmunds Electric and Security. Also, too, you'll see behind us on the banner 72hourprint.com. 72hourprint.com is the official print partner of pewterreport.com for printing, signage, and apparel needs. Contact our partners at 888-72HR-PRINT or 72hourprint.com. That's 72hrprint.com. And you can also see it right there over our shoulder. They do phenomenal work with not just banners, signage. They're going to be providing Pewter Report t-shirts, which you guys are going to have access to. So we got a lot of cool things lined up with 72hourprint.com throughout the year.
What's impressive about them, Scott, is their turnaround time. I mean,
yes,
hence the name 72 hour, right?
Yes.
They can get things done in a hurry. We just had this banner made in the last couple of days, and it was ready to go with the stand, everything.
Yeah, that wrinkle was my fault, by the way.
That's
it's not their fault. So
yeah, we should have set this up and let it go out. But by Saturday, the wrinkles should all be gone.
Yeah, I'm going to have either Matt or Taylor iron it out to get the wrinkles out. But
it's a good idea.
So, okay, that's funny. But we're looking at some of the some of our cool. We got some people from Toronto here.
We got Ireland. We got Ireland in the house.
Excellent.
And you're right. That is why Jude ducked me, because he saw these guns in real life. He's still ducking me, by the way. Actually, he retweeted something I tweeted the other day.
That's good.
I was really surprised.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, he's trying to make up.
Well, I think that went down on greeting Scott and Admiral Grumpy. That's awesome.
I haven't been grumpy yet. I mean, I will be.
You will be.
There's no doubt.
Yeah,
I mean, I was grumpy before we started.
Your bedtime's around 10 o'clock, Grandpa. So I would say 3 hours from now, you're going to be kind of grumpy for the last couple hours.
Yeah.
Now, the interesting thing is we'll have to see the Buccaneers picking 5 with the top 5 selection. Are they going to trade back up into the first round? They have such a high pick, and someone like Gerald McCoy they could move. Who knows? I remember the year that I went home when they traded back up
for Doug Martin.
I
remember. I didn't. I stuck around.
You did the story.
Yeah. We were all ready to pack up. Even I think I had pretty much. I still had my computer out, but we were all ready to go. They cleared the food out of the media center. And I'll never forget one of the media members, won't mention him by name, who said, "Well, what? Doug Martin? Who the hell is that?"
This guy, yeah. He's only the best running back in the Senior Bowl.
I mean, he was the first running back drafted in the draft. He was, top-rated running back in the draft. Anyway, we knew who Doug Martin was because Scott made me watch clips of him at the Senior Bowl at 2 a.m. at our hotel. Do you remember that?
I do.
Yeah, you're like, watch this one. I'm like, Scott, I've seen all the no, we watch this run.
Yeah, watch this one.
Yeah.
All right, so we got let's see, Tallahassee in the house. That's good. Yeah, let's do a little roll call, location roll call.
Patrick Peterson's in the house. That's surprising. Thought he would probably be watching.
Actually, it's Patrick Patterson.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well,
yeah, you got the glasses on.
Cataract surgery. Sorry.
Jeffersonville, Indiana, Tarpon Springs, Connecticut. I like that. Vancouver. Excellent. Isn't it a shame all of the Canadian hockey teams have been eliminated from the playoffs in addition to the Lightning?
Well, last night we saw Washington get eliminated. Thank God. I was so happy. I hate Washington.
And the Golden Knights, too. That's crazy.
Good.
The 2 top participants from last year's Stanley Cup. Palm Springs, California. Ireland. Excellent. Scottsdale, Arizona.
We don't believe you, David Arbuckle, in Bali, Indonesia. Nice try. You're going to have to send us a photo.
Yeah.
We're not buying that.
Helena, Montana. That's cool. All right.
Is that Helena or Helena?
I think it's Helena.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Scottsdale.
Love the international fandom. Yeah, I'm going to get to go to London this year, too. I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, I'm going to get to stay here.
Yeah.
While Scott goes to London.
Well, you're going to L.A.
Well, the problem with going to London is there is some travel restrictions for certain people,
That would be you.
Yeah, it's hard to get that bracelet off the ankle to be able to go overseas.
That's true.
So,
yeah, we might have to get we could get a waiver maybe from the judge, but I don't know if he would allow international travel.
No, if he doesn't let me leave Hillsborough County, he's not going to let me go out of country.
All right, so we got some Londoners in the house here. That's cool. Excellent.
Scott's looking for a place to stay. If you have an extra room.
Dennis on me, Scott. Yes. Dara O'Brien. I like it. Is it Dara or Dara? Darragh. Give me some phonetics on
I don't even know if that's a guy or a girl's name.
I'm going to say a guy because
demographic.
Male demographic, probably.
It may be like, it could be a female. Anyway, Dara O'Brien, get us on you. Scott, we'll take you up on that. I can assure you that.
Yes, I will.
Greg DeCruz says, what is hockey? I'm kind of with you on that. Although I did watch last night's Capitals and Carolina game.
26 on Pewter Report. I'm seat 26 on Pewter Report. What does that mean?
I don't know.
Airlines might charge extra for the guns, Mark. I had the same problem.
They haven't found him. They didn't find him on the way to Arizona.
Oh, wow. Look at my gun compared to yours, Cook.
Is that
Jeez.
a gun?
Yeah.
Or a loaf of bread?
It's like a 38 special. I'm working on the 45s. It's going to take a little while. I just turned 47, so, you know.
Well, I'm just trying not to flex so I don't knock Matt's computer over next to me. Is it okay if I drink on camera? I'm not telling you what's in here.
Yeah. You could be like Blake Shelton on The Voice. He's got that Starbucks cup, and you know it's got some booze in there.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. There might be some booze in this. Not tonight, because I'm going to be professional.
By Saturday.
Yeah, Saturday for sure.
After 3 days of this. How do you stay so pale in Florida, Scott?
Pale? What? Where's that?
It's the. Let me wipe off the camera here. Sorry, guys. Let's just make sure we get it good. I don't know where the camera is.
Right there.
Oh, look at us. We don't look any different.
Yeah.
I think we look all right. I don't think we look too pale, do we?
Oh, that's his nickname on Pewter Report. Okay, I got you. All right. C26. All right. Thank you.
But just turn your contrast down. We'll be a little redder in the face. I actually thought about laying out at the pool today, so I'd get a little sun for this. And I just didn't have time. I had too much going on.
Fluorescent lights right above us. It's not doing anything for us either.
I mean, if you want to see pale, I will take my shirt off.
Please don't. No.
Good news, if the lights or the power doesn't fail, I will just take off my shirt and it will illuminate everything.
Yep. Well, he says we're all drinking, so cheers. Appreciate that. Yep.
Oh, somebody's bringing up my fishing license charge. How do you know about that? How do people know about
we talked
this?
about that on the Pewter Nation podcast.
Oh, we did. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Right. Okay, so we already did the roll call. That's great. Supporting a
Patrick Patterson.
A redneck tan. No, it's really not a redneck tan. Again, it looks different because, well, yeah, part of it is a little bit of redneck tan because we've been out of practice the last couple of days.
Yeah, and they won't let us take our shirts off. We've tried.
Yeah.
So we have a
farmer's protocol for that. And not just that, but was there a cloud in the sky for those 2 minicamp days?
Nope.
I mean, not a single cloud in the sky. There's no awnings or anything.
I picked up 2 melanomas just on Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah. Yeah. So. Can we talk football? Yes, let's talk some football. We've got about 48 minutes to fill here. Let's do a roll call and let's see everyone's first round pick, who you want. Let's go with want first. So for the next 60 seconds, who do you want the Bucs to pick? Not who do you think they're going to pick. Who do you want them to pick? Devin White, Ed Oliver.
I'm with you, David.
I'm with you, Matt. Devin White, Michael Reynolds. Michael Reynolds, are we related? We might be related, right? I mean, I have an Uncle Mike, but it's not you. But I do have an Uncle Michael Reynolds.
Got 3 Quinnen Williams in the house.
Yep. Quinnen
4.
Williams. Yep.
Kyler.
Knowing your grandfather, maybe that's great. Josh Allen. There you go. All right.
I think that's going to really be the debate.
Yeah.
Is it going to come down to White or Allen at this point? It
very well could.
If the mocks and thing, we talked about this in the podcast, Scott, a couple months ago. How
should I lean back since you're leaning back now?
I don't know. Now that shows our fat.
Yeah.
Not a good look. So, not that we have fat. Again, the camera adds 38 pounds. So the point is we talked about it on the podcast, how really that top 10 was so all over the place. Mm-hmm. But we've seen in the last week, kind of like a hurricane forecast, the models are narrowing down.
Yeah, you're getting the cone now.
Right. And we're no longer in the cone of uncertainty. Mm-hmm. We pretty much know where this hurricane's going to end up coming. I will turn my phone off now. Rookie mistake. But there is still some question. If the first 4 go, and the consensus is Murray, then Bosa,
right? Then
at number 3,
either Quinnen Williams or Ed Oliver. I think the Jets are going to take, if they stick at number 3, I think they're going to take a defensive lineman.
And Oliver has been kind of the consensus I've seen in the last 2 days. Then you've got Quinnen Williams going to the Raiders. So that would leave Josh Allen and Devin White for the Buccaneers to have to make that choice. Now, hey, what happens if
a punter?
They're going to draft. They're trading up for a kicker. Yeah. What happens if the Raiders, who had Devin White out for 2 days, from what I understand, last week in Los Angeles, that, I mean, would not shock me at all to see a John Gruden and Mike Mayock too, who's there. He loves Devin White as well.
I mean, I thought about that, and you look at the respect that John Gruden had for Derek Brooks, and also to his fondness for Barrett Ruud. He loved Barrett Ruud, right? So there's some linebackers that John Gruden absolutely loved here in Tampa. And
Barrett, 7 yards in a cloud of dust, Ruud.
Yes.
Right.
Correct. He will not make any tackles for loss at all, but he will get you before you hit the end zone.
Yes.
That's typically Barrett Ruud's MO. So having said that, I think it was a scare tactic. I think that the Raiders were bringing Devin White out to kind of scare the Buccaneers.
Well, you think John Gruden's a little paranoid just because he sent all his scouts home last week?
Yeah, but I also think that they're trying to entice the Bucs to come up. Like, for example, I wouldn't be surprised if Jason Light, let's put it this way, if Allen and White or one of those two is there, and if they have a feel for the Giants, if they really feel like the Giants are jonesing for a quarterback, and that could be Daniel Jones, it could be Dwayne Haskins, assuming that Kyler Murray's off the board, I wouldn't be surprised at all if Jason Light says, do you want to trade up and get your quarterback now, or do you want these other 3 teams I'm talking to take a quarterback at 5? Yeah. Because obviously, if the Buccaneers want to trade down, I think they're going to trade down 1 spot. That's it. I think I wrote about that in the SR's Insider today. I just don't see the Buccaneers trading down and getting a whole bunch of picks. I know that's a popular opinion. It's more fun. It's sexier to have all these draft picks like it was last year. Didn't really turn out that great last year for Jason Light either. Again, we'll have to judge this draft class and future draft classes, and even last year's draft class a little bit down the road, because 1 year, we don't know if Ronald Jones is a bust or if he's going to become something.
He's a bust.
We don't know if MJ Stewart's a bust or going to become something.
He's a bust. We
don't know if Carlton Davis is just an average player or if he's going to be a really good player.
He's an average player.
Well, that was the case last year. Let's see what happens this year.
I have more faith in, of those 3, Carlton Davis is the guy that I have the most faith in.
I do too. And I think he'll have a good year. So we will get some interesting selections here. We got everybody, all the usual suspects, Allen, White, Quinnen Williams. We got Montes Sweat. Supposedly the cleared issue on the heart is, that came in the right time, right?
Yeah.
to get that news. So we shall see.
Was that legitimate though, or did you just hire a doctor to give him clearance?
That's a good question.
Remember when Rocky wanted to fight again, and Rocky 6 and Balboa, and the board wouldn't certify him, so we had to do an amateur unsanctioned thing.
Right.
Yeah. Montes Sweat may be unsanctioned to play in the league this year. I joke, and I guess I shouldn't joke about somebody with a serious condition, but that would absolutely scare the hell out of me if I'm a GM, if you're considering that guy in the top 10. You know, obviously.
Well, now, I thought the Times did a really good piece. I don't know if Rick wrote it or who at the Times wrote it, but the Buccaneers have hired the Mississippi State strength and conditioning coach.
Right.
So obviously this is not a new problem. This is something that Montes Sweat's been dealing with the last couple of years. He was obviously cleared to play, cleared to practice, cleared to work out, and was a workout warrior for the Bulldogs. So if there's any piece of intel that the Buccaneers could have, the strength and conditioning coach is probably the best guy to get it from, because he was really in charge of monitoring the workouts and making sure everything was hunky-dory. And unfortunately, you've seen in a couple instances, like out at Oregon, we saw the death at Maryland under Durkin. Strength conditioning program, it's huge for player safety too, not just getting these players ready to play, but also keeping them safe during the workouts. They don't end up in the hospital.
Florida State about 10 years ago had a player die during the workouts.
Yeah.
Did you just scratch your nose through the computer screen?
No, it looked like there was like a little lint there. And I don't know.
On your nose?
Yeah.
Did you think you were wiping your nose is the question? Or did you think?
I was wiping the screen.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. My nose is here. The screen is there.
I don't know who believes that. I need to fix my hair a little. Oh, okay. Good. I got that cowlick down. Scott's like, God, I wish Trevor was here.
No, this is actually going to be more entertaining. I think Trevor's draft knowledge is going to be missed a little bit when it comes to other teams, but we're knowledgeable about the Buccaneers. So
yes.
Greedy Williams in the second. All right. So I think that would be a very interesting pick. And I think that if Greedy Williams makes it to day 2, I don't know that he's going to be there at 39 when the Buccaneers pick, because he's going to be one of those guys I believe that teams are going to be clamoring for and trying to trade up.
That's what's going to the draft's going to end tonight, and 32 teams are going to be redoing their board, and he's going to be at the top. And so then you've got 6 teams or 5 picks before the Buccaneers would have another shot at him.
Yeah,
and there's going to be teams that are going to be looking to move up. Now again, what would Arizona want for that first pick in the second round, or what would the Raiders want, or so on and so forth. Now, but you could also see the Raiders package some of. I think they have 3 number ones. They have 3 first-round picks.
I believe so. They've got a plethora of picks.
I mean, so they could, you could potentially see them move up to get a guy like Greedy Williams. They're the team that can really move around quite a bit. I mean, obviously, any team that has more than one number 1 draft pick, and I think there's 2 teams that have multiple first-round picks, with the Raiders being one. Those are the teams to keep an eye on.
Yeah, third string kicker made a good point on here as I'm seeing these comments here. We talked about it on the podcast. Jason Light and Bruce Arians, I don't think a 2020 pick is going to matter too much to them, right? They're not going to want to trade down and acquire more picks for next year. They want picks this year because Jason Light needs to win now.
Right.
Bruce Arians is 66. He wants to win a Super Bowl like in 2 or 3 years and then retire to Lake Oconee in Georgia.
Yeah, he doesn't even buy green bananas, from what I understand.
Right. Let's answer some of your other questions here. I think Greedy Williams, gosh, if they can get him, I think that would be a phenomenal pick. If Josh Jacobs slips to the second round, okay.
Scott hates Josh Jacobs.
I'm not a fan, and I know a couple people upstairs at One Buccaneer Place that aren't really big fans either.
So we can go ahead and say that's not going to happen.
I'm not saying that it's not going to happen in the second round. It's not going to happen in the first round.
Right.
I don't think they're going to trade up in the first round like Mark Dominic did to get Doug Martin. I don't think they're going to do that for Josh Jacobs. I think the Raiders are going to take Josh Jacobs with one of their picks in the 20s. They need a running back, obviously, to replace Marshawn Lynch. But I think there's other running backs that the Bucs like a little bit better. But, if he's there in the second round, I don't know that they're going to pass on him at 39 because I think the value might be there. But you can look at a guy like Miles Sanders from Penn State.
But Scott, if
Darrell Henderson from Memphis.
If the Buccaneers take a running back in the second round, then Bruce Arians has been lying.
Yeah,
I understand coaches lie.
Yeah,
but again, we've talked about this. Yeah. There's something about Peyton Barber that it's genuine.
Yes.
Bruce's affection for Peyton Barber.
Yeah, that's a real crush.
Yeah,
for real.
Yeah, it's real.
And I don't believe the Bucs are going to take a running back in the second round. I'm just saying that they would consider if they had, let's say, if they had Josh Jacobs rated as the 31st player and he's there at 39, then all of a sudden you're getting good value, but there's other needs that need to be addressed. I think they would take a right tackle in the second round or a defensive back, whether it is a cornerback. Byron Murphy is a player that they really like from Washington. And if he happens to slide down, I think you're going to see.
I think he's the first cornerback, though, right?
Well, they're saying Rocky Sin from Temple is getting a lot of love.
What a rocket up this guy has done. I mean,
1 year at Temple and then a really good Senior Bowl week. Not even a real fast guy. I mean, he's like a 4.5 plus guy. But Rocky Sin is a player that I think will be in consideration. I think DeAndre Baker from Georgia is not the fleetest of foot, not the best athlete. I think he slides a little bit down into maybe into day 2. But then you're going to have a bunch of safeties. I think there'll be a safety or 2 taken in the first round. Maybe a Juan Thornhill is available in the second round. Darnell Savage makes it out of the first round. Then you're looking at that. We talked about this on the podcast too. If you didn't listen to the podcast, I thought it was pretty funny. I listened to it at the gym. There was some pretty funny moments in there with Matt.
I didn't like it.
I know you didn't like it, but I thought it was funny. With Matt talking about Orion Stewart, the Bucs safety.
Orion.
Or Orion. Yeah,
Orion.
But I think Taylor made the observation of practice. Kudos to the rookie. But, Justin Evans, he had that turf toe injury. We think it's turf toe. It might have been a broken toe, but it's a toe injury, and it pretty much kept him out the last 6 games. And then here we are after the season's over, 4 months now, almost 5 months.
It ain't a broken toe, man.
Yeah,
that's more.
And he's still not taking the field for practice. So I know that they're trying to be cautiously optimistic about this, but it hadn't healed yet. Otherwise, he'd be out there. And so last time I checked, you have to pretty much use your feet to run, to jump, to catch, all those types of things. I mean, not to catch, but to leap up and intercept the ball. So I think safety becomes more of a pressing need than maybe we had originally intended. When I did the mock on, what did I do it Saturday, right? It was the final mock. So the final mock came out Saturday, and in the previous mock, I had Darnell Savage from Maryland going to the Bucks in the second round. And then I decided, well, I'm going to switch it out and give the Bucks a pass rusher if I'm going with Devin White again. So they got a defensive lineman, or technically an outside linebacker, in Jalen Ferguson in the second round,
Right.
instead of the safety. And I think that I didn't have them taking a safety at all because they signed Kentrell Price and Orion Stewart before the draft.
Orion.
Yeah. So you look at those guys, plus MJ Stewart, plus Jordan Whitehead, plus Justin Evans if he's healthy, plus Isaiah Johnson.
Plus Chris Conti.
Nope. There's a lot of guys.
No?
No. There's a lot of guys to choose from.
Miss Chris.
But I know you do. Anybody else miss Chris? I'm going to do that to Chris.
His wife does.
Yeah.
Chris is now married and has a child.
Yes.
Had a child last year, but
Right.
he and his wife,
Reisner
former
would be
cheerleader, got
absolute
married.
heaven. Yep. Nobody wants GMC unless they are guaranteed to take a pay cut.
For the record, we're sitting in two different chairs. His chair is higher. I am a little shorter than
No,
Scott,
it's
but I'm
not.
not. No, it is.
No.
No.
It's the exact same height.
He has a better spine. My spine is messed up, so
Okay.
it looks scoliosis.
Yeah.
Like Dan Mullen.
Yeah, Reisner or Lindstrom in the second. I think either one of those guys would be phenomenal. But I'm of your
Forget about
opinion.
Lindstrom.
Yeah.
Reisner maybe, Lindstrom no chance.
And I've seen some mocks that actually have Denver trading up to get Reisner at the bottom part of the first round. He's a Colorado kid.
Yeah.
The Broncos love him, and he's not going to be there by the time they pick.
Any of the
second round.
32 teams that interview Dalton Reisner are going to love Dalton Reisner.
Yeah.
I mean, it's, his film is fine, but the guy himself, and we talk about it all the time about guys that play football because they're good at it and play football because they love playing football. Dalton Reisner is a guy who loves playing football, and particularly on the offensive line, that's the kind of guys you want, I think.
Right.
Speaking of that, here's some little bit of tidbit of news that has nothing to do with the draft. Well, it kind of does because we're talking about drafting a tackle. Word we're getting is DeMar Dotson's feeling really good. He was still kind of recovering from that leg injury from the year before last year. Didn't play as well as he wanted to.
Word is you texted him. He texted you.
I didn't know if we should say that.
Sure,
but
why not?
Anyway, he said he's doing really good. He's planning on being here soon. He wanted to work out a little bit longer with his trainers that he's working with now, but he hasn't felt this good in a long time. So for those people who are DeMar Dotson fans, and for those people who are not DeMar Dotson fans, if things continue to go as well, then maybe that right tackle isn't a weakness. Now, Scott, I think he's on the bubble. You said no, he's definitely here next year. I think.
You mean this year in 2019? Yes, I think he's definitely the right tackle to start the season, unless he's injured, unless he gets hurt.
Yeah,
but I definitely think he's the starter.
Yeah, if they were to end up with a Reisner at that point, then you've got Beninock as your swing guy, and you would almost think that Reisner would be plugged in to be that starter. Again, second round, it's not like he's a seventh round guy,
right,
that you're trying to start on the offensive line. But and at that point, if Reisner beats him out, then I think you could see DeMar let go because which I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it because you need. We've seen this team have to go to the street,
right?
And they got lucky with Gotzer Chairless a couple years ago. They got lucky with Joe Hawley.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen very often,
right? If anything, I think if they were to draft a right tackle early, what I mean by early is maybe second or third round, like Titus Howard from Alabama State, Dalton Reisner from Kansas State, a player that really could threaten to challenge DeMar Dotson. I think Dotson, if he loses, he's the backup in the swing tackle.
Yeah.
And because
I'm just saying,
he can't play
on
the left side in the pinch.
He's a $4.5 million a year guy though this year, right? I think it's around $4.5 million.
Hey, Jason Light and Mike Greenberg have kept Evan Smith around at $3 million as a backup guard center. So
that guy is like a cockroach.
He is.
He was out there.
To Evan Smith.
We saw him out there
still surviving.
the other day.
He's hanging on.
Yep.
I'm loving all these comments. I'm reading these. Okay, so a lot of questions about Oli Udoh out of Elon. Yep, that's another guy to keep an eye on. Maybe 4th or 5th round for the Buccaneers. They brought him in for a workout. He's a guy that really opened, I think, all of our eyes at the East-West Shrine practices.
Mm-hmm.
He really kind of dominated out there.
But we have to. When you look at the East-West Shrine game, you've got to take all of that with a grain of salt because it isn't the top talent. That's
Correct.
the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
But he ended up at the Senior Bowl.
Yes, he performed well enough when he got the invite.
And still did well at the Senior Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes you feel a little bit better from a small school guy.
Mm-hmm.
If he would have just went to the East-West Shrine game and impressed, that's great. But the fact that he was able to get to the Senior Bowl as well the following week and hold his own, tells me that he's got a good chance of succeeding. I would feel better about drafting a guy on the 3rd day who
Mm-hmm.
played in the Senior Bowl and did okay as opposed to he dominated in the East-West Shrine game.
Will Evan Smith stick around this year and get paid to sit on the bench? I think so, because there is some value in having an experienced guy that can play center and guard.
Yeah.
I don't know if they have another backup center on this team. They've cross-trained Alex Kappa.
Mm-hmm.
He hardly has any experience at guard. I don't know if you want to put that guy in there at center when he has just so few snaps in the league to begin with, and never played it.
You could always
at college
throw,
or pro level.
You could slide Alley back to center, but then you've created another weakness at another guard position. So you just got to hope that this line stays fairly healthy this year. Really every year.
Yeah. Art of Free Speech says, is Shaq Barrett strictly an outside linebacker? Can you play middle linebacker? He is an outside linebacker.
Yeah.
So the plan is to, on the strong side, go with Carl Nassib and Shaq Barrett, and they're going to be playing some 3-3-5 scheme as well. But in the 3-4, which is to be their base defense, those guys, Barrett and Nassib, will be playing the strong side outside linebacker spot. If Kendall Beckwith gets healthy, he'll be an inside linebacker. And they've got 2 spots, Mike and Mo. The Mike spot is your traditional middle linebacker. He's the guy that's going to play on the strong side. If they draft Devin White, he's going to be the Mike. And then the other linebacker spot, Mo, is the weak side inside linebacker, and that's Levante David.
I wish they would do like Larry Moe and Curly.
You would like
fun.
that.
Yeah.
You would definitely like that.
Should have saw Larry Moe and Curly installing the sign earlier tonight.
Yeah.
We were trying to put it together.
And then on the weak side, then you've got Jason Pierre-Paul, and then you got Noah Spence. So as of right now, and there's some other players too that are further down the depth chart, but primarily that's that. Kevin Minter is right now, before they draft Devin White, he is the starting inside linebacker at the Mike position in base defense. In nickel, that's where you're going to see Deion Buchanan come in, and that role becomes the money backer role. And then you've got the other spot, which is the Mike. Levante David will play that. So that money backer role is a spot that the Deion Buchanan has played. It really is a hybrid strong safety linebacker role.
Who's going to be making the calls on defense? I mean, usually it's your Mike linebacker, right?
Yeah.
But
it's going to be Levante David
until
Devin White takes over, if he's drafted. And then you're going to see too, they're going to get Devin White in the field on all 3 downs sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
I mean, he'll sub in with Deion Buchanan. They might even sub Deion Buchanan in with Levante a little bit, try to keep him fresh. But that's kind of the plan at linebacker right now. And then when they go to nickel defense, they'll be playing some 3-3-5, but they'll be playing a lot of 4-2 at the same time. So the nickel defense will resemble more of what you're used to seeing. The caveat might be, though, JPP moving inside with Veta Vea to rush from the defensive tackle, like he did a little bit last year. And I'm assuming Gerald McCoy is gone in this scenario. Then you might have either a Noah Spence, or if they draft a Josh Allen, or another edge rusher, let's say they draft a Ja'Kai Polite or a Jalen Ferguson in the 2nd round, then you might see that player go from weak side outside linebacker to weak side defensive end. And Carl Nassib comes from outside linebacker to his traditional defensive end role. So the front 4 for the Bucs in nickel is not going to look much different than it did last year. The only difference is you're going to have either JPP or Nassib, one of those guys, that put their hand down in a 3-4 and create a different look. But we saw a ton of looks out there in the minicamp.
And
ton.
they'll be going to dime at times too, where there's just
Yeah.
one linebacker on the field at that point, and
Mhm.
that most likely would be Buchanan, I would guess. But it depends on again if they draft Devin White and how quick he gets up to speed.
Right.
Troy Nicholson says, "Good day from Australia."
Good day, mate.
So that's cool. We love Vienna. Everybody in Vienna, hello.
No, that's Austria. You're talking about.
Yeah, I get those two mixed up.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Good on you, mate.
Throw another shrimp on the Barbie.
Oh, that was awful.
Yeah,
really, you've done a much better Australian accent.
I hate the Australian accent. I love the British accent, but no offense, Troy. Just not a huge fan of the Australian accent.
Do you like Outback Steakhouse?
Are they a sponsor?
Not yet.
No.
Okay.
When they are a sponsor, they will be my favorite steakhouse.
Gotcha.
Sell my soul to the devil.
Will Mac Wilson be an option at Mike in the second if someone like Quinnen Williams drops to 5? Maybe. I tell you, to be perfectly frank with you, doesn't mean that they're not going to take him. Doesn't mean they're not interested in Mac Wilson. I've heard absolutely nothing about Mac Wilson from anybody associated with the Buccaneers. No buzz, no whispers, nothing. So Benjamin Albright says it's Kyler Murray for the first pick. He says, not kidding, per 2 sources. I think that's the case. I didn't believe the whole Quinnen Williams thing to begin with. I think
if you're Josh Rosen, how are you feeling right now? Now all of a sudden, Josh Rosen is going to get traded, and all of a sudden Arizona's got another number 1 draft pick probably.
I don't think he's going to fetch a 1.
I think he is.
No, I don't think so. I
think
he'll fetch a 3.
No.
Yeah, I think
at least a 2.
Well, I would bet you, but you still owe me the money last year.
For what?
From the first play of the Eagles Bucks game when I called the touchdown. I freaking called the touchdown to Deshaun Jackson on the first play of the game. Yes, I did. Yes.
You said Pittman up the middle for 2 yards.
No, Michael Pittman's not on the team anymore. I'm talking.
But that's what you said because you're getting old.
No, I said they're going to hit Deshaun Jackson over the top. First play, touchdown, boom, and it's exactly what it was.
So how much should we bet?
$50.
50?
$50.
No, the $50 bet was I said Gerald McCoy was going to get more sacks than JPP. That was the $50 bet. And since you forgot the bet, it is now null and void.
No, you told me the bet. So you owe me $50 plus the $5 for the Deshaun Jackson.
As soon as Trevor pays me the 5 he owes me, I'm going to pay you that 5.
Okay. Well, you still owe me $50 then. So
well, don't you worry. It's wait a second. You signed the paycheck, Scott. You should have already gotten paid.
That's Peter Report money. I'm talking Scott Reynolds money here is what I need. All right. So that's a good question about.
Oh, by the way, I figured out the discrepancy in the height. You have really tall hair. See, look.
A little bit.
Like you got like 8 inches, Elvis.
I'll try to man it down a little bit. There we go. Okay.
I got a new haircut today.
Rosen to the Patriots. I could see that. My gosh. I mean, the rich get richer if that's the case.
Don't the Patriots have to address the quarterback situation? They did that with Jimmy Garoppolo a few years ago. What they do, they turned around and traded that for a number 1 to San Francisco, right? Isn't that what happened? Isn't that how we ended up? Garoppolo, they traded a number 1 to the 49ers for Garoppolo. I believe that's what happened.
Yes.
But who did they plunder for the Ryan Mallett deal? They traded him away before Garoppolo. I don't know. I mean, I guess Tom Brady's going to play till he's like 60.
Mm-hmm.
They're just going to keep bringing in quarterbacks, turning them around for better draft picks.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's talk about this for a second because it's pretty much known now that you're going to see Kyler Murray go to the Arizona Cardinals number 1.
Mm-hmm.
So then really I think the intrigue then is I don't see San Fran trading out of that. I think they have their sights on Nick Bosa.
Right.
So then are the Jets going to trade out of the 3 spot, or are the Raiders going to trade out of the 4 spot?
I don't think the Raiders would. I think the Jets are the most likely team in the top 5 to trade.
You don't think John Gruden wants to help his brother out?
No.
You don't think so?
No, he doesn't like his brother.
Well, I'm just saying, like he could fleece his brother and get he could fleece Bruce Allen as well, and get a whole bunch of more picks.
I heard
for that spot.
And again, this time of year, it's all rumor and smoke screens. Not only, wait a second, who do the Redskins end up with at the end of the year at quarterback or this offseason? They got Case Keenum, right?
Yes, and they have Colt McCoy.
And I've heard people are saying don't automatically assume Case Keenum is the guy, but Colt McCoy has played for Jay Gruden for a number of years and hasn't really over. Why all of a sudden in year 9 is this guy all of a sudden going to be the
I'm with you
the
on
guy?
that.
I think that's kind of a BS rumor too. I think absolutely the Redskins are in the market for a quarterback. And,
Yeah.
It's possible. But look, you've already got 3 number 1 draft picks if you're the Raiders. I mean, what are you gonna, I don't know. You're gonna end up with a lot if you keep doing that. And again, you keep acquiring number 1 draft picks. That's great till 4 years down the road when you're trying to pay, 4 number 1 draft picks, in other words, if they pan out.
Twitter's really reacting to this Kyler Murray stuff. Let's see. Rosen to Miami for Fitzpatrick in a second. I don't know if Arizona wants. Thank you. I don't know if Arizona wants Ryan Fitzpatrick. They just
Fitzpatrick.
The Dolphins just signed him. McCoy in a second to the Pats for a 32. I could see that.
No, Patriots aren't dumb. They don't have that salary cap.
I don't know that they have that room. Yeah.
And, they're not going to give it. I don't think they're going to do that. I mean, your scenario, Scott.
Ryan Connor, shooting star. It's great.
I don't know what that means.
That was such a shooting star from the podcast.
Never heard of it.
Man, come on. We were doing it yesterday.
Where did
Here
we do it at?
in this room.
Podcast? We have one?
Yeah, the Pewter Nation podcast. It's called the Shooting Star Podcast. Great name, by the way, Matt. Appreciate that. It's good.
You serve that on a silver platter.
The funny thing is we don't script our podcast. We actually tried a couple times and we're awful.
Yeah.
We literally just wing it.
I don't know. There's some people out there saying you guys should probably start scripting again.
I think they're pretty. I think some of it. Let's put it this way: they're either really, really good content or they're really funny. And I think sometimes they're both.
Yeah.
I thought yesterday was a pretty good mix of content and some humor. I like Matt. Matt's a little bit of a smart ass. Trevor really was a smart ass.
He's got that New York smart ass mentality. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I pick on him more than anything.
A smart ass?
I just like to back up what I'm saying.
Okay.
Defend myself.
There you go.
So yeah, a little bit.
All right. We'll have Matt on here too. We'll have Matt and Taylor rotate in for myself and Mr. Cook here.
In fact, we're just gonna let them have day 2 and 3.
Oh, we can get to go home. Okay.
Or we go to Lighting playoff game this weekend.
Wow, that's too soon. That is too soon. Let's see here. Praying the Raiders go quarterback. Boy, all right, here's the thing. If Kyler Murray's off the board, do the Raiders go with Dwayne Haskins or Drew Lock? I mean, wouldn't that be a Gruden type move to go for Drew Lock, who he coached at the Senior Bowl at number 4?
Wow, has he ever done that before, Scott?
He drafted the third best running back with the 5th overall pick in 2005. I was at the Senior Bowl, and you could just see the stars align. And the reason why we didn't have Cadillac Williams as a Bucs best bet is because I didn't want the Bucs to draft him. That was like a completely selfish move. I sabotaged our draft credibility by not putting him as a Bucs best bet. And I had people even telling me inside the building, like, it's going to be Cadillac Williams. I was like, ugh, please no.
And you decided because you didn't want him, you weren't going to put him in there.
Yeah. I learned my lesson, though. We've got a lot of those Bucs best bets right.
We should have done that with Derwin James last year.
He was a Bucs best bet at safety.
I wish you would have said, I don't want him to draft him. And then there would have been the.
Well, we put him in the mock. Trick. Maybe I should have put Veta Vea in the mock.
Yeah.
We had Veta Vea in the mock for mocks 1 and 2 last year. And then we switched to Derwin, I think, for 3. Then we went back to Veta. And then for the final one, we had Derwin.
I remember you calling me saying, gosh, it's, 1A, 1B, and I don't know which way to go with it. And come to find out, that's exactly the way Jason Light felt about it as well.
Yeah.
When it got to that point. Look, and listen, everybody knows I was as critical of that pick as anybody. But I really like what I see out of Veta Vea this year. Just talking to him yesterday, Scott, he's a different guy. Last year it was the deer in the headlights.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
And I'll be honest with you, when we met him the day after the draft last year, I went to Scott and I went,
I know.
This guy, he's in way over his head.
He looked like a big teddy bear instead of like this big, like island warrior that you kind of hope that you were getting.
And I think
he turned into the island warrior at the end.
And I think that confidence is all it really needed for his personality to change. And he talked about it yesterday too, that, look, I've been through a season in the NFL now. I'm going to be better next year. I'm used to the heat. I'm used to the rigors of a 16-game schedule.
He's lost some weight too.
Some weight.
He looks really good. But he's still big. I mean, he's still 330, right? I mean, maybe 335.
He's not going to get washed out on running plays.
Yeah, he's just not 350 like he was.
Right.
Yeah. The funny thing is,
which is good when we saw him last year in camp with that leg injury, soft
Right.
tissue injury, and carrying that extra weight in this heat didn't help that.
yeah. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and just reveal a little bit of this.
I don't know if you should.
I want to.
All right.
All right. So Veta Vea last year, right? There was the infamous talk with Jason Light, where Jason Light goes up to him at practice and has a meeting with Veta, and it really kind of, he really put a foot up as you know what, and didn't really read him the riot act, but used some very choice words,
Right.
and said, "Hey, I drafted you to literally kick people's asses, and you need to do that.
Be a game wrecker."
Yeah. And I mean, he used some very colorful adjectives, as Jason can do from time to time.
He's
And-
no Tony Dungy in that, right?
Regular coat.
Yeah, that's fine.
You don't have to be like all like
I
we have a Taylor over here like typing on the phone,
Stealthy over here.
and Mark can't even read it. Just say, "Hey,
Yeah.
I'll take." You know what? I'll take a.
He was mouthing me the code. I didn't know if it was
I handed you the cup and like motioned that it was empty. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Well, I didn't know if you want diet or regular.
Look at me. Do I look like actually, for those listening at home, I'm drinking diet.
Hey, did they have Coke Zero? Is the Coke Zero working?
Yeah.
If there is, do you want some?
I'll go take a Coke Zero, please. Yes. Thanks.
Yeah, me too.
I'll take a water if you can carry all the cups.
So the funny thing is should it have taken the general manager to say that, to really light a fire
Huh.
under Veta Vea?
I wonder who it should have taken to do that. The defensive coordinator,
Yeah.
the defensive coaching staff.
Yeah.
And the frustrating thing was, I say frustrating, as much as we all love Brenson Buckner,
Yeah.
there was some discord from upstairs
Mhm.
to the coaching staff,
Yeah.
even with Brenson Buckner, with some of his technique stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. He kind of had a certain way he wanted to do things. And the defensive ends didn't mind what Brenson wanted them to do. The defensive tackles were not very happy about it. And so I think that at the end of the season, you started to see some things that went one ear and out the other with regards to the defensive tackles. And I think the play improved. So, and there was a reason why, and I love Brenson Buckner. I think he's a great guy. It just, for whatever reason, there was a bit of a disconnect. And even though.
Well, we remember Brenson Buckner at one point saying last year, we're not, I'm paraphrasing, he's not a sack guy.
Yes.
He's there to, clog
Yeah.
up the middle and be right.
Yeah.
Which, yes, absolutely.
I
at
agree.
that
I think
size.
he had a vision of what Veta Vea should be.
He didn't see Veta Vea he only ended up with 3 sacks.
Right.
But in Buckner's mind, I don't think he expected him to have any sacks last year, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Maybe fall into one and tap
Right.
a quarterback's helmet when he slipped down. But
And that was
there was
not,
times when Veta Vea was all over the quarterback's ass and he didn't get the sack. He
Yeah.
had some pressures last year.
yeah.
So he has some pass rushing skills. And that was the thing that concerned me last year. And Scott kept trying to tell me, no, he can get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
He's not Warren Sapp. He's not Gerald McCoy, but he absolutely can get to the quarterback. And he did prove that to us last year, that he's not just a run stuffer. Because my feeling was, why are you spending, what did they end up picking him with, the 12th pick?
12th, yes.
Why are you spending a 12th pick to be, a guy to help stop the run? You need guys that can get to the quarterback. Warren Sapp said all the
No
time,
ice.
No, I didn't
that-
see the ice machine.
You didn't see the ice machine.
No. I don't
ice
know what it
machine
is.
that's
I don't think
been
I've
there
ever gotten-
for the
I
whole
don't think I've
time.
ever gotten ice here.
What in the world? There's an ice machine literally like right next to the soda machine.
Is
First
there
of all, we're not
Yeah.
in England yet. We like ice in our
Yes.
drinks. So this is what you need to do. Go get a cup with ice and bring it in here, please.
Yeah, please. True story. I went to Switzerland.
I couldn't find any toilet paper. I didn't know what to do. Hey, maybe ask somebody.
Oh my goodness. I went to Switzerland, the only time I've been to Europe. And I learned pretty quickly because the Europeans don't like to put ice in
did you have any
anything.
cheese when you were there?
I had cheese, yeah.
Swiss cheese.
Yes.
Is that like from Switzerland, Swiss cheese?
Duh, yeah.
I know the cocoa,
Yeah.
Swiss Miss.
And Nestle, a bunch of chocolate, Toblerone, all that. So I went to Switzerland and I learned pretty quickly some Swiss German, which is, there's different dialects over there, but I'd learned, like, if you wanted a Coke with ice, un Coca mit Eis, right? And you know what they would do? They would bring you a Coke with 1 ice cube in it. Like, I'm not kidding.
What is ice like? It's way in
It's like
northern
rationed
Europe. It
over
should
there.
be. They should be able to go out back and scoop some
I mean,
ice.
like the Alps, they're
Right.
covered in snow and ice,
Right.
right? So then I had to. Then I'm looking at this like going, what the heck is this? And my girlfriend was from Switzerland, so I asked her like, how do I get more ice? And so then I learned un coca mit viel Eis, which means fill it with ice. And so then you know what they did? They brought me like 2 more cubes. So like 3 ice cubes.
Wow.
To them, 3 ice cubes is plenty, Mr. American.
It doesn't matter even in the wintertime. If I pour a glass of tea, which I primarily drink iced tea 90% of the time, Plant City.
Louisiana?
I can't stand drinking any liquid without ice.
Louisiana?
Yes, although I've recently switched back to, you can bring it over here. I actually recently switched back to Lipton lately. I just like to switch every once in a while. Primarily a
Don't get
Louisiana
on the
guy.
computer.
Not gonna get on the computer.
This will short circuit the draft video cast.
But
You?
yeah, Louisiana's good. I switch it up though. I don't do red rose. My mom likes the red rose.
Never heard of that.
Well, they give you these little ceramic figurines, and
Okay.
I don't understand. She has like 9 million of them over the years.
All right. We be spoiling picks before they are announced on television. It is our job as reporters to report the news as we know it, as we learn it. So
We're not sitting on something if we know
Yes.
it. Well,
So here's what
unless somebody said we can't report it.
here's what we'll try to do. We will try to say we know the pick and we're going to say it. And at that time, take your phone, if you're watching us on the phone, and throw it across the room.
Yeah.
And then retrieve it like 10 seconds later and like walk across the room and get it. And then by then we'll have already said it. And then they'll probably have it on television, hopefully at that time. So yes, Bucks and trade talks with Redskins, apparently. I don't know if I believe that.
Wait, what was the rumor? Bucks and trade talk for what? With Redskins, apparently.
I don't see the Bucks trading down.
Not that far. Where are the Redskins at? 14?
15.
15,
Yeah.
yeah.
I will say this. You can be in trade talks all you want, but no trade's going to happen until the Bucks are on the clock.
Yeah.
Because they got to see who they're going to be. So it might be a thing where, hey, if Quinnen Williams and Josh Allen and Nick Bosa and Devin White are all gone, then yeah, the Buccaneers might want to trade out of number 5. What are your thoughts on Ed Oliver? I like Ed
Love
Oliver.
him.
I don't love him.
Love.
Wonder what Duffner's up to these days. Mark Duffner signed on with the Cincinnati Bengals as a defensive assistant. He is like a senior defensive assistant.
Going.
Yeah, Duff's a good guy. He did the most with what he had to work with here. Kansas City's going to get exposed this year with no Hunt or Hill. Yeah, apparently Tyreek Hill. There's an audio tape that it's an indictment to the entire Chiefs organization, top to bottom. Start with Andy Reid, move on down the list. So
Wow.
yeah, just because the Johnson County prosecutors, and I lived in Johnson County, Kansas. Let me tell you, they love their Chiefs. It's like a religion out there. Like
It's a college town, essentially, right?
yeah,
It's
Arrowhead.
like Tuscaloosa
Yes.
in the Midwest.
Arrowhead Stadium is a church, and everybody, the whole town wears red on Fridays to work. I mean, around the plaza, everywhere. It's a religion out there. Chiefs football is. So yeah, unless there was some real rock solid evidence, yeah, I could see them drop the charges on Tyreek Hill, but apparently this audio is out now and it might sink his ship. So we'll see.
But what does the audio say? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
Let's play it. Find it and let's play it.
Chiefs had to drop Kareem Hunt. Tyreek Hill's under investigation. They just give up a first and second rounder and will pay a bank to Frank Clark.
Frank Clark. Yeah, that's
Chiefs must be playing the percentages. Yeah. So all of a sudden, the entire world in Kansas City is going to have to be on the arm of one Patrick Mahomes.
it's a pretty good arm to rely on.
Yep.
We're just scanning through Twitter right now.
Yep.
Talks amongst yourselves.
Do you like Chase Winovich if he's there at 39? I do. I think he's a hell of a talent. He is a Jason Light kind of try hard guy. He's nonstop Mr. Hustle. He reminds me a little bit of a smaller Carl Nassib with longer hair.
Much better hair.
Yeah, I think they're similar players in that respect, but different body types, but still the same hustle, heart, and all that.
And you know what?
And production.
If you like what Carl Nassib does, then that's not a bad pick because, if Carl Nassib throws another 6.5, 7.5 sacks up this year, he's going to be out of this team's price range. Look, they don't have salary cap money this year. They're going to have. It's not going to get better next year if they pay Jameis Winston, what he's going to command. And you got to remember Buchanan, Bryce, a lot of these guys they brought in, Barrett, they're all on 1-year deals right now.
Yep.
And so, eventually they're either going to have to get paid or they're going to let them walk.
Yep.
Good news is if they walk, they'll end up with a compensatory pick probably for some of these guys. Patriots have done that for years.
Yep.
Sign guys to 1-year deals, get something out of them.
Yes.
Let them go and end up with another draft pick.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Is you're going to see the Buccaneers really try to cash in on some of these compensatory draft picks. And the reason is because even the New England Patriots, even Bill Belichick, who's the greatest coach of all time, he's not the best talent evaluator.
People would argue John McKay or Lehman Bennett, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Lemon Bennett.
But they've got 12 draft picks this year. And the consensus is you're going to hit on 30% of the free agents you sign. So if you sign 3, one of them is going to be a good or great free agent signing. That's the percentages that most GMs will tell you across the board. For the draft, it's about 50%. You're going to hit on half of your draft class. You have a 50% chance in the first round, and then the percentages drop with every round that goes thereafter. But if you have 7 picks, the averages tell you that you're going to have 3 or 4 out of those guys that are going to be players.
So according to you, 3.5.
Well, it
So
would
you
be
have
hard
like
to
half
have
a player.
like a torso, maybe of a guy.
You use him as a pylon.
But so
Draft hasn't even started yet, and I'm
you're
on fire.
up, I know. Yeah. So let's say it's 3 or 4.
Mhm.
All right. Well, if you're Bill Belichick now and you get 12 draft picks, well, all of a sudden that's 6 players. If you play the percentages that you're going to end up having on your football team as contributors, starters, hopefully a Pro Bowl or 2 in there if you're the Patriots. So the more picks you get, the more likely you have to get more players on rookie deals.
Right.
For 4 years. That's the whole key, and that's why you see guys like Trey Flowers and Trent Brown go in free agency and make all these monies. Well, they just turned into 3rd-round draft picks for the Patriots.
Yeah.
And Bill Belichick will draft the next Trey Flowers and Trent Brown and have them on rookie contracts for 4 years. Then he'll do the same thing, let them go and get overpaid elsewhere. And the Patriots, if you've ever noticed, they've got the best quarterback in the league. And they never have any cap issues because they let guys go. They don't overpay for players.
Yeah, and again, when you have the best coach and the best coaching staff, you feel that you can take a guy that might be a solid contributor to a team, let's say like the Buccaneers, and turn him into a not a star, but a very good player, just based on the fact that the coaching is a little bit better. They have the ultimate confidence in that staff from top to bottom. But I don't know, does Bill worry about it so much? I mean, we all talk about Tom Brady, how much longer he can play. How much longer is Bill Belichick going to coach? Because he's, I think, 60, same age as, is he the same age?
He's 66.
Yeah, same age as
Or
Bruce.
67, yeah. Yeah, so I guess Pro Football Talk has a transcript of the audio where the girlfriend is telling, it's a conversation between.
Let's act it out. I'll be the girlfriend, you be Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
He is terrified of you, and you say that he respects you, but it's not respect.
He respects me.
It's terrify. He's terrified of you.
You need to be terrified of me too, biatch. That's why you can't keep a effing man.
F King man. Okay,
Hill previously pleaded guilty to choking and punching her while she was pregnant with the child. The audio makes it clear that she had been previously covering for Hill. I didn't do nothing, Hill insists during the discussion about the injury suffered by Hill's son.
Then why does he say Daddy did it? Why does he say Daddy did it? Why does he say Daddy did it? What does she have, OCD?
I don't know. He says Daddy does a lot of things.
Like what? A 3-year-old's not going to lie about what happened to his arm.
So that's the audio. That's kind of damn.
That was actually the audio.
That was the audio.
We were just lip syncing the audio. We were playing it, but we were lip syncing it.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would date a woman that had my voice.
I wouldn't.
You guys might win a Tony for that performance.
Pretty good.
Might win a Tony. for
Or
that
else you
one.
can find a reenactment.
That's
of
funny.
that.
The journey to the EGOT. begins
Yes,
now.
there will be a replay of this. So in case you want to see that
Yeah.
Tony winning performance
Right.
again,
Right. Just let you know, though,
Yeah.
we've copyrighted this, so you can't videotape it, put it out on your social media without our permission.
yes,
Express written consent.
yes,
Of
exactly.
pewreport.com.
We'll sue you. Yeah,
We
if
will
these turn
sue
into
you.
gifts, we will sue you.
Yes.
Um,
And if I pick my nose during this podcast, it better not be recorded and put on social media either.
Yeah.
We'll have Matt edit that out. This is good Coke Zero.
worst table read ever.
There's a reason we're sports writers and not in Hollywood.
Yep. So we're at 8:00 now. So the draft is going to be officially underway. Again, we want to thank Edmondson Electric Security, Edmondson Electric and Security. As you can see right back here, they're one of the sponsors for for pewreport.com, and they're the title sponsor for all of our draft coverage. So thank you big time
Yep.
for their support. Our draft coverage is presented by the official smart home and security company, pewreport.com. That's Edmondson Electric and Security. For the past 40 years, Edmondson Electric has proudly served Central Florida with electric services and is now proud to add state-of-the-art surveillance and security technology. It's for your smart home. They want you to have a smart home. You should have a smart home with all the automation and everything. Whether it's the surveillance cameras, the home theater system for your man cave, or smart lighting, Edmondson Electric and Security is automating your dream home. So give them a call. You can click on the banner ads on pewreport.com, or you can call them at 813-910-3403. Tomorrow starts now. For home automation controls to structured wiring and surveillance systems, Edmondson Electric and Security has the team to keep your home current. Visit edmondsonelectric.com for more information. Control, monitor, secure.
And think about the money you'll save on not having to feed all those pit bulls.
That's true. Yes, no doubt
Dog
about
food's
it.
not cheap.
Yep.
Somebody just said I'm drunk already. Tell them, Scott, I don't drink.
Yeah, you don't drink.
I don't drink. Matt can attest to that. When we went to Mobile, I ordered one beer. It was frozen.
Yeah, I had to.
So I
had
just
half
had
of
it. I just gave it to Matt and
Yeah.
he finished it off.
Shocker.
Nice.
Yeah.
Matt finishes up a beer. Wow.
Yeah. I think
Matt,
Matt,
you could drink me into the table, Matt.
Matt may be Irish
Yeah.
with Orion.
Definitely.
I mean, definitely.
Right.
Before drinking contest.
It's Orion.
Taylor just made love to his beer for about an hour and a half. Same beer.
I drank 3 before we left that bar.
Did you?
Yeah, me and Matt went.
So Atlas
What
likes
you
this.
said three.
Hey, look, we had a fan. Atlas likes this video already. That's good. Good to know.
Atlas.
Right there.
How's your
Atlas.
arms? Holding up the earth.
What is Taylor's medical issue?
Well, what's the medical term for low IQ? Just kidding. Taylor, you don't have a medical issue,
Talking
do
about
you?
Juwan Taylor.
Oh,
I mean, that could fit either, but
I was like, man, they really were getting in depth on this Pewter Report staff.
it's like, man, how did they know?
Taylor's got several issues. Most of them are from the shoulders up, but
The health issues are heart related. The
Yep,
rest
so
are mind related.
the NFL draft has officially begun. The Arizona Cardinals are on the clock. Yeah, so
Taylor, can you go hold
apparently
the TV up for us, please? I can't really see it.
you can look. You can see it. How about that? Is that better?
Well, I mean, yeah, if I do this,
You can see it, right?
I'm just gonna do the rest of the show like this.
Okay.
Put my head on your shoulder.
Yeah, sure.
Step brothers.
You just alienated Pasco County with that pit bull crack. Listen, I'm from Pasco County. I didn't
He
find that
is.
offensive at all.
Well, because you live in a
Where
gated
is Man Bun?
subdivision.
Man Bun is in Nashville with the Draft Network.
Yes.
So welcome, Matt, to being Irish. That's great. Yeah.
Right?
Cards haven't made their selection yet. Well, they're going to. Give them a second. I mean, Roger Goodell has got to come out and get booed by the crowd in Nashville first.
They better not boo him when the Buccaneers make their pick because they got a Make-A-Wish person up there. That would be rude.
Yeah.
Or the Make-A-Wish kid thinks that they're booing him.
Scott, can the Bucs trade a late round pick to the Draft Network to get Trevor back in the draft stream? That's funny. I mean, listen, we love Trevor. We enjoyed having him on the Draft Cast. He really kind of helped pioneer this thing for the first 2 years and shepherd it.
Mm-hmm.
And when I said, Mark, we're doing the Draft Cast this year, you were thrilled to do it. You're like, hey, I don't even need you, Reynolds. I can anchor this thing for
The whole time.
easily. Yeah. So once the Bucs make their pick at number 5, I'm going to go home and get some sleep. And
Good.
Mark's going to be taking over for the next.
Yep. I'm
72 hours.
gonna go in the media room and drag somebody out. John Romano's in there from St. Pete Times. Maybe Gary Shelton.
Oh, that'd be riveting.
Remember Gary Shelton had a radio show in 98.7 The Fan.
Yes, I remember. Yeah.
The crab ass.
Yeah. He was paired with somebody. I'm not going to name his name.
Ding.
Yep.
Think.
Will Trevor be back during the season? We have a lot of Trevor fans tonight.
Good Lord. Hey, Trevor's
possibly.
family, stop watching this.
Yeah.
Go watch him.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Possibly. Yeah. Trevor is still part of the Pewter Report family.
Yep.
That's what we're prepared to say
We
right
have
now.
open arms.
Yep.
Trevor is always welcome in the building. In fact, he was here with us last week. We did the
Yeah.
podcast and came out for the
He would have been
press conference
here at the minicamp, but he had to go to Nashville for
Yeah.
the Draft Network thing. So we're excited for him. It's fun. He loves the draft. We'll see what happens. He also loves covering Bucs football. So, we'll see. The door is not closed. It's always open for him, and he knows that. So
Matt and
we shall see.
Taylor already plotting the Jeff Gillooly club to the knee.
You hold him. I'll take him out.
Sorry, I can't make it when he's busted.
Now, listen, I think Matt and Taylor have done a really good job, and we're excited about them going from interns to Bucs beat reporters. They earn their stripes at the Senior Bowl with us, and also throughout last year. And you hear them on the podcast now, and they're
From time to time.
Yeah.
When they talk with
coming
the
along.
microphone, like Taylor the other day had a soliloquy going on in the corner
right, without the mic.
without the mic. So
I did have a man bun. Facts.
Yeah, you did.
I cut it off today. I could never wear it here because I didn't want to become man bun for a year.
That's true.
yeah, we would have not allowed. Trevor's the
That's
only
why I
person
wore so
allowed to
many
have a
hats the
man
last
bun.
couple months. It's like I can't do that.
Where'd you get your haircut at? Roosters. Another proud Pewter Report sponsor.
Yeah.
They're down in South Tampa. They do a tremendous job.
So
The pick is in. Just kidding. I don't know if that's true.
we're anticipating the pick being Kyler Murray. That's what's been bantied about.
Yeah.
By national reporters.
Just ever watching a Miralax commercial on NFL Network right now.
They know their target demo.
Bloating, gas. Speaking of that, I had some Taco Bell for lunch today.
Well, we have a live audience here, Mark. So
The microphone's not that good. We should be fine.
no, I think you want to sit on that.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
If I have to run out real quick, warning you guys.
That's okay. You don't need a hall pass. You've got permission to leave anytime you want for that.
Yeah.
A styrofoam cup, really? Shouldn't you be drinking from a T.A. Mahoney's bucket of bait or something? That's great.
Well, let's just be honest about the styrofoam cup.
Yeah.
I'm not drinking out of that.
Yeah.
I'm drinking out of this.
He's from Plant City. Connect the dots.
Pinecrest.
Yeah.
Not that uptown.
Right.
But anyway, it looks like I'm drinking, so it worked.
Yeah. So, all right. So right before the picks start coming in here, let's do a quick roll call.
Yeah.
About, do you listen to the Pewter Nation podcast on a regular basis? Let's see how many yeses and nos we have. And it's okay if you don't.
Yeah,
We're not
it's
going to
fine.
shame you. We
will.
might. Yeah, Mark might. I
will.
won't. So, yes, every week. Look at Art of Free Speech. He's ass kissing. Yes, every week.
Yes,
That's
we
awesome.
know you miss Man Bun. We
Yes.
miss Man Bun.
I do not. Okay. Well, let's change that. Cletus.
According to Greg
Yes, every
Allman's
episode.
Twitter account, the Bucs picked Devin White. Wow. Greg really went out on a limb with that one.
Shocker.
I don't know who had that in January.
We did.
You, but yeah. We.
Yes, I watched the Pure Report podcast. Not during the off season, during the season, yes. Okay, well, listen, last top, you're missing a lot of great episodes. We do talk a lot about the draft, free agency, and
T.A. Mahoney's.
yes, Ford's Garage.
And of course, our new title sponsor.
Yes, Chris Garrido at West Shore Financial.
Yep.
And we appreciate him and West Shore Financial coming aboard and sponsoring our Pewter Nation podcast, which is awesome. So we're getting a lot of great corporate support, and that's phenomenal. And really, I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you all very much for not just helping pewterreport.com grow and at Pewter Report, our Twitter account and Facebook and Instagram accounts grow, but also the Pewter Nation podcast. We have doubled the amount of downloads over the past year.
Yeah.
And it's all because of you guys, because we only listen to it about 20 or 30 times ourselves to get the numbers up,
Right.
but we only have so many hours in the day.
Yeah.
So it's
I
really
actually
up
just
to
played
you
on an
guys.
endless loop.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Only counts as one though. You have to restart it every
Mm.
time. Otherwise,
Yeah, no,
doesn't
I
really
actually
count.
rarely re-listen to it because I experienced it. Why do I need to listen to it again?
Yeah.
The one time I did listen to it, there was an audio issue. I
Yes.
almost blew the spring. So
All right. So I think the pick is going to be Devin White. I think it's going to be Devin White even over Josh Allen. If both players are there, I think that's going to be the pick.
I don't know if that's the right move, Scott.
I don't know if it's the right move either, but I think that's what's
Here's
gonna
the
be
deal. I don't think any of us disagree in this room, and probably most people listening or watching this right now, that Devin White is going to be a star middle linebacker.
Yeah.
But what's the value of a star middle linebacker versus a potential star pass rusher? Where's the
Right.
best value? And where's the premium at on a position on defense, a middle linebacker or an edge rusher?
I think it depends on your roster. I think that
Okay, where's the premium going to be 2 years from now when JPP is 33?
Mhm.
Carl Nassib may be somewhere else. We don't know about
Yeah.
Noah Spence.
I see what you're saying, and I agree with the premise. I think an edge rusher should have more weight put on it with the first round pick. You have to look at the draft as in total, in its totality, and understand that if you don't get Devin White and don't get Devin Bush, there's a big time drop off in talent. And
Bruce said it yesterday. If you draft for need, you get fired, though.
agreed.
You can't make this decision based on
Yeah.
unless they're
Unless-
both ranked exactly the same.
Yes.
And in that case, look, I love Devin White. From a media standpoint, selfishly, I would love the guy. He's going to be a hoot to interview. He's going to be the quote of the year, right? Every
Right.
week in the locker room, he's going to be that guy. He's just full of personality and all of those things. It just worries me a little bit because, again, it is a middle linebacker. Now,
Apparently,
here's the
Marcus Mariota is getting booed in home, or I should say at home, by the Nashville crowd.
here's the deal, though. If you
Or
believe
maybe that's Roger Goodell.
if you believe Devin White is Ray Lewis or Patrick Willis, then
Yeah.
absolutely he's the right pick at 5.
Yeah, I agree. And I
But you can't draft another Quan.
no,
With
they
the fifth
believe
overall.
that he is way better than Quan.
He is.
And it's not just the 4.42 speed. It's not just the Butkus Award. It's not just the playmaking ability, the ability to drop in coverage or blitz.
Mhm.
He's a great scheme fit, but it's also the leadership ability.
Yeah.
And listen, Gerald McCoy was the team captain for a long time. Gerald McCoy was not a team captain last year. That was not on accident. He is a leader by example. He never wanted to be a rah-rah guy, never wanted to be a guy that got up in front of the team and made speeches. He was not the fire starter, if you will. He's more like a Derek Brooks. Derek Brooks was not a guy to give the rah-rah speeches. That was Warren Sapp and Hardy Nickerson.
Yeah.
But Quan was that fire starter, and you have to have those guys in your team. That's why John Gruden loved Warren Sapp.
Didn't Bruce Arians
because-
mention that yesterday about Devin White? One of these 2 days.
I don't think he mentioned.
I don't think he mentioned
Yeah,
Devin
did he?
White. He talked about needing this team is lacking a personality or that, I don't know. Go through the transcript yesterday, Taylor. I remember something about that. It's possible
Yeah.
that I had that dream last
Joe
night.
Dolan says Marcus Mariota has the charisma of a 2x4.
I would say, paint drying on a wall, but pretty close. Yeah, he's dull. Listen, I don't know who's going to be better, James Winston or Marcus Mariota this year. I just know who I enjoy covering a hell of a lot more.
Well, we knew we had Marcus Mariota in none of the mock drafts we did. We had all 5.
By the way,
For
you don't
James
have to do the
Winston.
dot anymore. They changed that.
Really?
Yep. Yep. So anyway, what else? Would I fight Jude Ajay-Barima so the Buccaneers can get Quentin Williams? Yeah, I would take one for the team for you guys. That would be, look, that's my number one guy overall. And Scott said it in his insider piece. That's the Buccaneers overall number one guy is Quinnen Williams. So if some by miracle chance he were to slip and they end up with him, this will be one ecstatic front office. We may hear cheering down here from upstairs if Quinnen Williams somehow falls to number 5. Just don't see that happening though.
Yes, I think Quinnen Williams. He's the biggest guy on their board.
Not like physically biggest.
He's up there.
He's a pretty good sized youngin.
Yeah. I do believe that they will draft Devin White. I just tweeted that out. And we'll see if Devin White is there by number 5.
Would not draft White if he would not be as good as Luke Kuechly. Yeah. I think he can be. I mean, look, comparatively, athleticism is not even close.
He's way faster than Luke Kuechly.
I mean, I like Luke Kuechly coming out, but I watched him at Boston College because I followed Florida State. So I saw him play, 2 or 3 times. And, I was impressed with the guy. The problem with him is his film wasn't outstanding because he was playing on such a poor defense. He was literally the only playmaker. He was the only guy making tackles. So you wondered if his numbers were inflated because he was the main guy on that defense. But he has really proven me wrong. He's a stud linebacker for sure.
Yeah.
You just keep him from having another concussion.
Yeah, and I think too with Devin White, somebody brings up his tackling ability, and yeah, I mean there's some legit criticism there. The thing is you have to remember this is almost like Veta Vea. Veta Vea is now entering his 4th year playing defensive tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Played 3 years at defensive tackle at Washington
with 3 different defensive line coaches too.
Yeah,
I don't ever think about that. I mean, here's a guy that had a defensive line coach.
Veta Vea was
Washington.
he was a running back in high school, and so he goes to Washington. Obviously, 300 some pounds. He's going to play defensive line. So Veta Vea is still learning how to play the defensive line position. Same thing with Devin White. He was a running back in high school, and he's still honing those instincts. He's still learning how to play the position. And I think he's doing quite well. In year 3 of being a linebacker, you lead the SEC in tackles. You win the Buckus Award. You're an All-American. I think you're on your way to becoming a damn good linebacker.
And look, he's going to have to get better at certain
Shooting
things.
star. Thank you, Jessica.
He's going to have to get better at certain things, and if tackling is one of them. But listen, everybody was losing their minds when they drafted Justin Evans. Said he can't tackle.
Yes, he really improved his tackle.
And listen, the good coaching can help that certainly.
Yep.
He'll learn like Quan, and I don't know that Quan ever learned that. Quan wanted the knockout punch on every play.
Right.
Sometimes it's okay to be Barrett Rude, Scott.
Yeah.
Make a tackle 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
That eliminates 40-yard gains if you guess wrong.
Right.
Quan liked to guess. I think again, I'm not knocking Quan. I love Quan Alexander. I think Devin White is a smarter linebacker, more cerebral linebacker.
Yeah.
And he's certainly more athletic than Quan.
I agree. And I like Josh Allen too. Listen, if this team comes away with Josh Allen, I will be thrilled. I think that guy, he stayed for his senior year. He had the chance to come out after back-to-back 7-sack seasons, and he was a fringe round 1 guy. And he did what Brian Burns did this offseason. Brian Burns decided to come out after his junior year, after Florida State's dismal season, but
still wasn't bad as the Gators in 2013 when they went 4-8.
It's true. But Josh Allen stayed and helped Kentucky beat the Gators in Gainesville and also beat Penn State in the bowl game. I think get to 10 wins on the year. A really good year for the Kentucky Wildcats. Josh Allen was a big part of that.
I listened to Josh Allen
17 sacks. Went from 7 sacks to 17.
On Sirius XM yesterday, they were interviewing him, and they asked him why he decided to stay. He said, I wasn't mature enough on the field and off the field for the NFL. I knew, listen, I really felt I could improve and really secure his family's future financially by staying, because if he's a 2nd or 3rd round guy, it's huge money difference between that 1st round top 5 money and even being a 23rd pick in the 1st round, in other words. So he was real honest about that. But he said, listen, I didn't feel I was mature enough on and off the field yet. So I really enjoyed his interview. He sounds like a really good young man. I haven't spoken to him. I don't know if you did, Scott, or have, but he seemed like a really, really good young man.
Yeah.
And
and we had a chance to talk to some of the Kentucky cornerbacks that were at the East West Shrine
Yeah.
and also the Senior Bowl, they raved about the guy. They just said that his leadership ability was really good. He's not the fire and brimstone kind of guy that Devin White is,
Right.
just that natural charisma where he walks in the room, everyone looks at him. But Josh Allen does have some really good leadership and played a leadership or had a leadership role in taking Kentucky to new heights this past year. And of course, his play in the field. I mean, anytime you go from 7 sacks to 17,
Yeah.
he added power to his game. He added about 15 pounds of muscle and bulk in the offseason and really got that speed to power element that every good edge rusher needs.
Nick says Devin is a slightly better Quan, and that's not a compliment. I disagree with
way
that.
better than Quan.
He'll be better as a rookie than Quan was in his 4th year. I mean, he will have more of an impact.
Yeah.
If he can stay healthy for 16 games. I mean, he's a guy that could contend for a Defensive Rookie of the Year type award. He's going to be a very good linebacker in the league. Again, the decision is, where do you put the value of a linebacker versus an outside pass rusher?
Steven says, heard from quite a few experts that they're down on Josh Allen, saying he's overrated, that his game won't transfer well to the NFL. Just curious if that is legit. Impossible to know for a while, of course. I think his senior year answered a lot of questions. And listen, if Josh Allen ends up sliding to number 6, he's not going to slide out of the top 10, right, Mark? I mean,
Right.
He's not going to do that. The interesting thing is Arizona's still on the clock, 3 minutes left.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm
Kyler Murray
really shocked about this.
sitting there in his pink suit and has not received a phone call yet.
That would make me question whether to draft him, though. I would have to pause too if
Well,
guy showed up in a
listen,
pink suit.
you got to if you're the Cardinals and he's your guy, you know it, right?
Yep.
So you got to wait the whole 15 minutes to see if the phone rings. So now you see Steve Keim and Michael Bidwell on the phone talking with somebody.
It wasn't Kyler, because Kyler didn't have a phone in his hand when they showed him just a moment ago.
Yeah. Let's see. We're watching the war room now in NFL.
Raiders are going to move up. Raiders are going to move up, take Kyler Murray.
Is that what's going to happen?
I don't know.
You can't say that.
I can speculate.
Well, didn't say it's speculation. You just freaked everybody out now.
Wouldn't surprise me, but I don't see a Mike Mayock being a huge Kyler Murray fan, though. I think he's more of the prototypical type quarterback guy. I don't think he likes the 5'10".
Yeah, apparently it's starting to rain in Nashville right now. Forecast is awful in Nashville tonight. Many of the draft events are outdoors. They might have a lightning delay to the draft.
Oh my gosh.
Yes,
we're going home if that happens.
Read a good story on Yahoo yesterday that a lightning delay for the draft to make sure all those fans get out safely is not out of the question tonight. So yeah, that would be awful.
Like right after the 5th.
All right, so 1:36 here left. Hope Allen goes number 3 and Devin White goes number 4. That's a home run for us. That's obviously somebody who wants Ed Oliver to be the pick.
Me too.
Now, listen, I would not hate the Ed Oliver pick at all.
Bucks really like Ed Oliver.
Yeah, they do.
From what we understand.
Ed Oliver's grown on the Bucks. Ed Oliver's grown on them, and I think having him in for a visit helped out. Todd Bowles went to the pro day workout down in Houston and got a chance to see him. Todd's been all over the place. He was at Clemson watching Dexter Lawrence and Christian Wilkins.
You think he has to fly coach, or do you think he flies first class, or do you think
I don't know.
the Glazers send him in the jet?
I'm not sure. Scott, who do you prefer, Josh Allen or Devin White? I prefer Devin White for 2 reasons. Number one, because I want to be right in the mock, selfishly.
He's a selfish guy.
But at the same time, I like both of them. There's a reason why Devin White is the Bucks' best bet at inside linebacker, and there's a reason why Josh Allen is the Bucks' best bet at outside linebacker, because they're both pretty damn good players. I think they're both elite guys, worth taking in the top 5. One of my favorite Buccaneers that I've covered was Hardy Nickerson, and I really think that one of the things I liked about Hardy was his leadership ability. I mean, I don't think Warren Sapp would have been Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks wouldn't have been Derek Brooks, John Lynch wouldn't have been John Lynch without Hardy Nickerson's leadership. He took those players under their wing when they were young, and he was a Pro Bowl veteran. And
I don't think he took him under his wing as much. He said, "Damn it, this is the way it's going to be done.
Yeah,
follow me."
And then stared at him and said, if you don't.
And I will fight you.
I will literally fight you.
Literally, like I told Jude, I will fight you if I have to.
Whose ass did he kick in the weight room?
Eric Curry?
No, was it Broderick Thomas?
No, I don't think he kicked Broderick. Was kind of a badass.
Who
I
was
don't
it?
remember. Somebody out there will be able to tell us that.
Okay, the pick is in, and Kyler Murray, shocker, is going to the Cardinals. And that probably opens up a trade for Josh Rosen.
Not probably.
Yep.
That's a guarantee. Hello,
Kyler Murray.
Miami's on the phone right now.
Hello, sunk cost.
Or is Miami tanking for Tua?
That's a long year from now, man.
There's teams. I heard some speculation
Yeah.
about that. There are teams who like next year's draft class quarterback a little bit
what do you
better.
do? What do you do in training camp? Like don't install that. That's a good play. We
No.
You
You run your offense, but you know Ryan Fitzpatrick's not going to be the guy that's going to lead you to the Super Bowl. So you build from the inside out, and then you get your quarterback next year.
Right. So I'm just wondering if you're trying to tank, though, you're not trying to win games, right?
Well, again, there's also tanking, and there's also realization when you look at your 53-man roster and go, this is not a great team. We're not a playoff team. So let's spend this year, getting better on defense, drafting defensive players, and have an eye.
Right.
They're not going to try and lose games.
Yeah. All right. So here's a question: does Kyler, if a different team has, let's say, what if the Cardinals had a different head coach rather than Cliff Kingsbury? Does Kyler Murray go number one? I don't think they do.
So. Yeah, I don't think so. I think they see that as a perfect fit. Now, listen, again, when you change coaching staff, a lot of times a coach wants their guy, right?
Yeah.
They don't want to inherit. Bruce Arians Bruce Arians is here because he wanted to inherit Jameis Winston.
Yeah.
But some coaches don't want to do that.
Mike Reynolds, El Dragon forever. I love that. Steven Uppendahl, loved Hardy. Not easy being a badass in orange. That's true. Only a few pulled it off. Leroy was one of them.
Okay, so I'm going to fill my water real quick for the Bucks pick.
Okay. Thank you.
Let's see here. Dwayne Haskins gets drafted ahead of the Bucks, and the Bucks will have a very good chance at Quinnen Williams, Bosa, Oliver. Take your pick. Yep. I think I even put that in the insider story today. Is there is a scenario where Quinnen Williams, Josh Allen, and Devin White are all there with that pick. Let's see here. TV delay sucks, so I'll have to turn down after the fourth pick. Is Rosen going to position switch to O-line so that Murray won't get killed? Yeah, I know. Well, it's a good thing that Kyler Murray is fast and can run around. Full rebuild is on the way to approach it. Perpetually reloading doesn't work. All right. So we've got the San Francisco 49ers on the clock, right?
Yep. And this ought to be an easy one, too, if they pass on Bosa, they're idiots.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Scott.
Mm-hmm.
Bosa or Williams, if you had a choice?
If I'm the 49ers?
No, if you had a choice. If you're the GM of any team.
Of
the new Scott Reynolds team.
I would take Quinnen Williams. I'll take Quinnen Williams. Yeah.
I'd take Bosa.
Would you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He's going to have the most success as a pass rusher as a rookie. Just like his brother did. 9.5 sacks rookie.
It's interesting because the Bucks. Look at that. Ali Marpet.
Nice shorts.
I know. Holy smokes. The consensus in this building is that Nick Bosa is better than Joey Bosa. So there's that. And
you absolutely.
Yeah. And if
take him number one if you were the other choice.
If Nick Bosa somehow falls, the Bucks would be ecstatic. Because of Kyle Short's workouts. Oh my goodness. Super 70 Sports has got to be the funniest Twitter.
It's the best.
You send me stuff all the time. I send stuff to you,
Yeah, it's the best Twitter account out there, other than at Mark Hook 1970.
Yeah. For Peter Report. At Peter Report.
Yeah.
Of course.
I should follow those. Matt and Taylor aren't allowed to have Twitter yet. They're not old enough.
Yeah.
Too much nudity.
4 minutes left on the 49ers pick. Again, I'm sure I think you're going to see with a lot of these picks that, especially in the top 10, they're waiting to see if there is a team that wants to throw a king's ransom to move up. So, how about that Oklahoma? Not a fan of the school at all, but Baker Mayfield wins the Heisman, goes number 1 overall. The next year, Kyler Murray wins the Heisman, goes number 1 overall.
Yeah.
That's quite a feat. That's stunning right there.
Well, Charlie Ward should have went number 1 overall after he won a Heisman for the Seminoles in '93.
Yeah. Well, Vinny Testaverde did.
Yeah.
To Tampa Bay.
He
Nick
didn't win a
Bosa's
national
arms
championship.
are shorter than Joey's. That could be the case. I don't know that like an inch makes a huge difference in arm length when you're talking about.
Yeah, only in some things does an inch make a difference,
Yeah,
but not in
I said
not
arm length.
Yeah.
I made sure to specify that. Scott and Mark, what are the chances the Bucs trade up with the Jets for Quinnen? I threw that out there, didn't I? In an SR's Fab 5. I don't think that's going to happen because that would really deplete the Bucs of some draft capital. Actually, the 49ers are making a pick right now, and I'm anticipating it going to be Nick Bosa. Let's see.
Well, I watch TV. You guys get a great view of my ear.
Yeah.
Boy, a lot of people high on Brian Burns. Can we just dispel the notion that I only bang the table for Seminole players?
Yeah.
You're way more on Brian Burns than I am. I'm
yes, agreed.
Yep. If you got him at the top of the second round, that would be a steal.
It shouldn't be a surprise. I believe it's going to be Nick Bosa.
What if a lightning bolt came down and killed Goodell?
49ers taking Zion, confirmed. That's great. Nick Bosa is your selection. 2 for 2 out there for many in mock draft land. We didn't do a mock draft this year. I just didn't have time.
We should have. I should have done one.
You
did a big board last year.
Yeah. Do the Bucs swap with Washington? I don't think so. So we keep hearing King's ransom to move up into the Bucs slot. What would last year's draft haul? Would last year's draft haul be considered a King's ransom? No, I don't think so. I think a King's ransom involves first round pick.
Yeah.
In addition to like a first round pick next year, swapping first rounders this year, and
get
then
an additional second
like
this year.
a second and a fourth. I think that's really the King's ransom. And we've talked about it on the Pewter Nation podcast. I don't think that Jason Light, who's in his last year of his contract again, allegedly, and Bruce Arians at age 66, I don't think they're not focused on 2020.
Yeah.
They want to win and win now. And so I don't think they value an extra pick next year. And especially too, when you have no idea, you could be getting a team's first round pick and then they move up, get the player that they want. And we've seen with the likes of Quentin Nelson and Darius Leonard, 2 impactful rookies for the Colts.
Right.
What that did to help Andrew Luck and the Colts really rebound and get in the playoffs. So
then that number 1 turns into a 23.
Right. Or 25 or something. So yeah. All right. So this is where it gets interesting. Here's where this is the twilight zone, if you will, where picks 3 and 4 are going to be interesting if the Jets stay, if they stick and pick, or if they're going to trade out.
Stick and pick, I like that.
Yeah. It's draft terminology. Stick and pick. Yeah.
Okay.
And
I know it's a basketball play.
That would just be a pick and roll.
Pick and roll, stick and pick.
Yeah.
I think it's some other things.
And then what the hell is John Gruden going to do at 4 with Mike Mayock?
He's going to kick Mike Mayock out of the draft race.
Probably. Mike, your work here is done. I got this, man.
I got it now.
You got your draft board. I'm going to be making the picks. We all know that, right? I'm the de facto GM out here. So,
Lee Mayock, Mike's daughter, who's on Twitter, when it came out about them sending all of their scouts home, she's tweeted that my dad takes his draft notebook into the bathroom with us. Yeah, with him. He doesn't even leave it out for me to.
Well, Lee's all over Twitter, so
like Lee, I'm a big Lee fan.
Okay, but I'm just saying, it's like the last thing that the dad wants is his daughter to tweet out who they're going to draft.
Whose daughter would do that? No.
I don't think my daughter Ellie's watching, but I wouldn't put it past her.
Yeah, maybe
she's
not.
a bit of a rascal sometimes.
I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't put it past either Matt or Taylor.
You don't understand me, Dad. I'm tracking DK Metcalf.
All right.
I probably should have rethought those two Cokes.
I think Washington trades with us. I'll say this. I would be shocked if the Bucs traded down to 15. I would be shocked. I really would. That's 10 spots. I don't know that they would go down that far. And I don't know that Washington would give up that much to get up that far. And I think it would take a king's ransom to do that. So I'm going to stick with my story, and we'll see. So the Jets have got about 5 minutes on the clock.
Do you have access?
No, but I can. If you can text me the password.
I don't know it.
For what?
Facebook.
Oh,
Do you know the Facebook?
no.
Oh, good.
I think it-
I
Way to go,
have it.
guys.
I can put it on. I'm good for something. I can do Facebook.
Thank goodness.
Yep.
I hate group text. Just letting everybody know.
So do I.
Never ever include me on a group text.
That's why
Now,
I text you individually.
sometimes we kind of have to because I may be trying to talk to you and Taylor, but
Mhm.
I hate him.
We should just get one giant media, all Tampa Bay media, one group text.
No.
40 guys
No,
and women.
you realize no one can hear what you're saying, right? They just see me shaking my head going,
That's what I'm
no.
talking to you guys.
No.
All right. This should be Quinn and Williams here, I would think.
No, it's Ed Oliver, boys.
You think so?
Yeah.
It could be Ed Oliver.
They should be.
There was some smoke there. It really comes down to preference because I think both defensive tackles are good, very good.
They're going to go 3-4 or 4-3 either way. I mean,
Yeah.
it's either or. The next two picks, most likely.
Yeah.
As wacky as John Gruden is, he's not going to pass up Quinn Williams.
Sure, but would he take Josh Allen at 4 over Ed Oliver?
I don't
You know, Scott, you were shocked last year when the Bucs traded down. Yeah, I was because I really thought they were going to either pick Devin White or Veta Vea at that spot.
Devin White,
I'm sorry, I was getting ahead of myself.
Derwin James.
Derwin James, yes. So yeah, I was shocked, but I'm not. I would be shocked again, and I think if they trade down, it would be just one spot to the Giants. I could see them maybe trying to scare the Giants into flipping.
Well, the only thing you can do is lie to the Giants and say Washington wants this pick really bad, and they're going to draft the quarterback that you want.
Right.
Problem is all the quarterbacks are still there, other than Kyler Murray.
Right.
So
Yeah, but
it's not like there's
but
just
if
one left.
if you're the Giants, though, and you're sitting at 6,
Yeah.
you would love to have the
Haskins.
second quarterback. You'd love to have the choice between
But-
Haskins and Jones and Drew Lock. And all
How in
that.
it amazes me that Daniel Jones could potentially be a top 5 pick. That's just mind-boggling to me.
I agree, but we've seen it before. We've seen players just get picked. And I hate to say it. I mean, MJ Stewart last year in the second round ahead of Carlton Davis.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I talked to plenty of scouts from other teams that said that MJ Stewart was a 4th round pick. That's where he was graded. The athleticism wasn't there, the speed wasn't there, and it showed up. And I just think Jason Light got kind of tunnel visioned into want tough physical players. And it's like, man, that's fine. If you want to draft a tough physical athlete with some athleticism and speed,
Right.
like that, I'm all for it. But this is the NFL, man. You got to be able to run. You got to be able to cover. You got to be able to
How much
match
did
athleticism.
we know that they were even on the MJ Stewart trail last year? Or did they keep that pretty well hidden?
very well hidden.
Yeah.
They should have kept it.
Yeah.
They should have kept
Continued
it
to hide it.
secrets and like not picked him.
Right.
And listen, maybe he's better at a safety, and we've had sources say that the thought was that he would be a candidate for safety, and I thought he was really miscast as a nickel corner. He just did not have the speed to match up with slot receivers. It was pretty apparent.
Maybe this system fits him a little bit better at the nickel, but I mean,
Ken Grant says Light has only drafted one defender with sub 4.5 speed. Agreed, and I think that's one thing that Bruce Arians and he and Todd Light want is more speed on this defense. That's one of the first things that Bruce said out there at the Indianapolis NFL scouting combine in Indianapolis when I interviewed him, is they got to add more speed to match up with the Alvin Kamara's, to match up with the Christian McCaffreys, the Julio Jones, the Calvin Ridleys, the Michael Thomases in this division, the Curtis Samuels, a lot of fast skill position players. You got to have guys that can pursue, cover, chase, tackle, all those things.
what you're saying is Riley Bull is not that guy in the middle.
I like Riley. I just don't think he's that fast.
He's not.
But I think you're going to see more speed added.
This is somebody's bringing up a good point here. This last staff obviously didn't like Ryan Smith very much for whatever reason. I mean, is it because he's not very good? I'm just curious to see how this coaching staff utilizes Ryan Smith, because he has shown flashes, but I think his biggest problem has been inconsistency. But it's really hard to evaluate and knock these guys based on what we know about what the coaching staff was asking these guys to do last year.
I think I was telling you, Taylor, maybe it was Matt, when we were out watching minicamp. I said I would almost like to just be able to tap into like an alternate universe and find Thanos and kill him. No, I mean, but tap into an alternate universe. He doesn't even know who Thanos is. That's great. But tap into an alternate universe and have the exact same roster as last year.
He was on Little Rascals.
And see what this coaching staff could do with all of the existing players, like minus Brent Grimes, of course. But because that would get Grimes out of here. Sorry, if you're gonna be a punk like that, you're gone.
Todd Bowles wouldn't have put up with that.
That's true. Bruce Arians.
I would like to. I actually would like to have seen
the Jets.
What they would have done.
Quinnen Williams.
Wow.
Yep. Quinnen Williams, number 3. Okay. So
the Raiders.
You know what that means?
I'm gonna go pee. Can I go take a break?
Huh?
Do I have to wait? I shouldn't have drank 3 Cokes.
Well, I'm just saying. So now you're going to have Josh Allen or Devin White at number 5 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Or maybe Ed Oliver.
Yeah.
Raiders could take White.
Then I would think they would take Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I think at 5.
They really like Ed Oliver. I think he's still got some ceiling left too.
It's a jig now.
No jig for you, Taylor.
Best player in the draft at 3.
Yeah, I agree.
You're not even Irish. You can't do a jig.
I am Irish.
Are you?
I can't do a jig, but yeah,
You don't drink as much as Matt.
All right, so you're ready to go? Okay.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Boom, 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 boom. Not plan on me holding this thing down. Well, darn, that sucks. Reading some comments. I know there's a lot of people listening on their mobile device, so we'll try and read as many comments. I actually had a couple of people tweet why they can't see the comments. Unfortunately, it's not available on mobile devices. Come on, Gruden, take Devin White. That's a Ed Oliver or a Josh Allen fan. Yeah. Art of free speech. What are you? Who would you prefer? You probably already said, but I don't remember. Maybe my Mayock thinks they're much better at this than everyone. They'll take T.J. Hawkins. That would be a Raider-esque move.
Well, really, this is where the intrigue is, because if the Raiders take another player other than Josh Allen or Devin White, if they do take an Ed Oliver or another player, then Jason Light has a decision to make. Do you take Josh Allen or do you take Devin White at 5?
Yeah. You know what? I think they've got their mind made up on that, because they've talked about all the different scenarios they've run through. Bruce Arians said it yesterday. He's just ready for the draft to be over with. All the scenarios, they went over all of them. They know what they're going to do for the most part. So,
Oakland Raiders are on the clock. 5 minutes. This is getting exciting. Pray we get Oliver or trade down. Oliver or bust now. Josh Allen over White. I like White and Allen, but pass rushers take longer to make an impact. I think White is expected to come in and be the leader as a rookie. White or 2019 as a bust. Interesting. It's going to be very interesting. From what we understand, Devin Bush is I think we said this on a podcast. Devin White is linebacker 1. Devin Bush is linebacker 2. So it's not like 1A and 1B. There's a definite difference between the two. They view Devin White as a top 5 player. Devin Bush is a very good linebacker, but I don't even know that he is like the true Mike position in the inside of this defense. I think he's more like a Levante David. He's more like a Mo linebacker than a Mike linebacker in the 3-4. I think that gives Devin White a significant edge.
Sorry.
Yeah, no,
Being a jerk.
thank you. No, I totally agree.
By the way, interns can be heard. I just got a text confirming. Great. Now their heads are really going to explode. This is good coffee.
Knowing Gruden, 80% chance the Raiders take a quarterback. Yeah.
Wake up, Mark.
Yeah,
What does
like-
that mean? Do I look like I'm asleep?
No, you're awake.
Okay, quick poll. Beard or no beard? I shaved for the thing.
Well, you have a stubble.
Well,
It's like a
I
semi-beard.
didn't shave, but
I can't grow a beard, so
still got to
that's
cover
not
a
an
little
option
bit of
for
the
me.
ugly.
I think White is the safest pick. Maybe not the best for 5, but Oliver and Allen have bigger bust potential. Interesting. Beard, cut the whole head off. That's
Chris
great.
McDaniels
Cut the whole head off.
will not be
That's
winning a
great.
Ford's gift card tonight, just to let you know.
Beard, Irish Thor.
Wow.
I'm German. I've never been to Ireland, nor is anybody in my family
Then
Irish.
where did the redhead come from? Where's the ginger at?
The Russian part.
The Russian?
Yeah.
Is
That's
the
a
redhead
long
Russians?
story.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But you think only Irish people have red hair?
Yeah.
You've never been to Indonesia? Oh, wait, they don't
No.
have red hair over there.
No.
Dub, you never been to Vietnam?
I think they have black hair.
Mm.
I'm guessing.
Stereotyping.
Yep.
Semi-racist.
Stay scruffy. That's what the cool kids from the 70s do. Russian ginger. Yeah. That sounds like a drink. I'll take a Russian ginger.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not a lot of German redheads,
Yeah.
but I'm one of them. Allegedly. I'm afraid to take the 23andMe DNA test because I may find out I'm nowhere near what I think I am.
I think the Raiders are going to take Josh Allen. They need an edge rusher to replace Khalil Mack. So I think that's
Why?
what's
Then
gonna
they'll just trade him to the Bears later this year.
happen. Yeah, for more picks. Yep, I think it's going to be Josh Allen. We'll see.
You want me to grow the beard, then part it like my hair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although the interesting
Bring it
thing is Mike Mayock at the combine was very he said, listen, in this day and age, you've got to get pressure up the middle. And we even heard Bruce Arians say that when we were talking about blitzing the other day, is pressure's got to come up the middle because the quarterbacks get rid of the ball so quickly. And you're not going to get the sacks typically unless you have lockdown corners. And so you got to have pressure up the middle. And get in the quarterback's faces, get them off their launching point, and disrupt the passing game that way. So,
Pick us in. Here we go. You guys enjoy my right ear as I peer over the side. Taylor, you're gonna have to go hold the TV up.
I'll do the pick 6.
Oh boy, I'm nervous now.
The pick is in.
Pick us in. We're just not gonna tell you.
Okay, so here's what's going to happen after the Bucs make their pick. Mark, you and Taylor will be going into the press conference room when Jason comes down, and Matt and I will continue to host the show. How about
Good.
that? And
That's
then we'll
great.
switch it up on day 2 and 3.
11.
Buccaneers select cornerback Vernon Hargraves. Oh no, sorry, I misread that. Just kidding.
Cleveland Farrell.
What in the
What
hell?
in the world?
Oh my
Cleveland
God!
Farrell
That's it.
Wow.
at the 4th overall pick.
Woo.
Holy smokes!
Raiders being Raiders.
Wow.
Trade down for what?
Wow. Cleveland Farrell. So the Buccaneers now have a pick of Josh Allen,
Ed
or
Oliver.
Devin White,
And Ed
and
Oliver.
Ed Oliver. Yes.
Wow.
Holy smokes!
What is Jason Light's face like right now, Scott? Do your Jason
Full of
Light.
blood.
That's great. It's great news.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Okay. They could have traded down for Cleveland Farrell, right?
Yeah.
Like
Hello, your
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah, even
At
if you
15,
even if you trade down to 15 and only pick up a 4th round pick,
right?
like if
But you would pick up more than
of
that.
course, I'm just saying,
Ah.
like
Three more edge
that's
guys.
easy. That's shooting fish in a barrel. Hey, we want to move down like 5 or 6 spots. And
It's
just give us a 4.
Too bad
5.
John Gruden doesn't know anybody in the
Holy
Redskins organization.
smokes. Cleveland Farrell.
Wow.
You know what? Cleveland Farrell doesn't even think that he's a 4th overall pick in this draft.
I think 3 or 4 edge guys would have gone before him.
Oh my gosh. Ahead of Josh Allen. Ahead of Montes Sweat.
Wow.
Okay, listen, Cleveland Farrell is a good player, but like that Clemson defensive line was stacked, and there's a lot of sacks that he got, and we're watching some right now where Christian Wilkins and Dexter Lawrence flushed the guy right to him. Holy smokes. Wow.
Well, there's the first shocker of the draft.
Yep, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are on the clock.
They're liking the gift I posted.
Look at him. Cleveland Farrell is just shocked. He's like, what in the world?
Cleveland who?
Holy smokes.
He was so unprepared, he put on a LA Raiders hat that he had from his NWA listening days.
Oh my goodness.
Raiders fans are losing their mind.
Yeah.
I don't know in a good way or a bad way. Wow.
That guy said it all.
I would in my order, I would probably go Devin White, Josh Allen, and Ed Oliver in that order.
Here's
That's
the
for
deal,
me.
though. Now you could move back a couple spots and you still could get one of those 3 guys.
That's a good point.
I don't know. How far do you go back?
I mean, if you like all 3 of those guys, you can certainly move back at least 2 spots because
Yes, you could.
You know.
But
who do you got? Who you got? You got
the Giants who want to take a quarterback,
Right.
So that they're going to want to take a guy, or they're going to take Josh Allen, right? So there's one guy's off the board. At 7 or 8, then you've got Jacksonville. They probably want to take a right tackle to help their offensive line, and then you've got the Lions at 8. They will definitely take one of those players that are there.
Right.
So you could go back 2 spots, but I don't know.
No, you can move back more because you know the Giants are going to take a quarterback. So
You
they
don't know
really
that,
count.
though.
Yes, you do. You absolutely 1,000% do. There's no way the Giants don't take a quarterback.
But what if they have?
I will
Josh
do
Allen?
the rest of
What
my
if they
show
have Josh Allen rated
in my
as-
banana hammock if they don't take a quarterback at 6.
We can't have that, Mark.
You can technically.
No,
It's not against the law.
Um,
Company policy, maybe.
company policy, yeah. I could break out the employee handbook and show her that's not allowed.
You've never broken that out yet.
I haven't.
Do we have one?
We have one, yeah.
Banana hammocks in there?
5 minutes left in the Bucks pick.
Oh boy.
Unbelievable. Cleveland
Wow.
Farrell. Nobody saw that
That's
coming.
insane.
Nobody saw that coming. Again, Cleveland Farrell didn't see that coming.
You know what? Hats off to you, John Gruden, Mike Mayock. Now we know why you sent your scouts on.
yes.
We absolutely now know
Yes.
why.
Yes.
Why did we ever doubt you guys?
Right. Well, the scouts would have revolted anyways and just left.
Well, that's true.
So they just beat them to the punch. Just said, they said, listen, you're not going to like who we're going to pick. So just
You're
go.
actually going to take
Right.
Will
Yeah,
Ferrell.
what do you guys
I'm
think
out.
of Cleveland Farrell? Get out.
That he's fine at 26, but what are we doing at number 4, guys?
Yeah, did they screw the picks up? They think they were.
They turned in the wrong card. Oh, damn, that was our 24th.
Devin White or bust, Oliver, or Allen.
Now it's like, who are they going to take?
Mike
at
Mayock
26?
just has that vibe of know-it-all. There was no need to do that. Farrell has to be so good to warrant this.
Look, if he loves him, he loves him.
I'll say this. I like Mike Mayock. I respect him. Mike Mayock was the guy who was the contrarian that drove up Robert Ayers' stock back in 2009. Robert Ayers had like 7 sacks at Tennessee.
Yeah.
7. And this guy like vaulted him into the first round. Almost like how Daniel Jeremiah just said, oh yeah, number 5 overall, Josh Jacobs, Alabama running back, who was the 3rd string running back. Like, no, absolutely not.
He wasn't a 3rd string running back. He was a 3rd leading rusher, maybe. He was a 3rd string. He just had some injuries and things.
Well, at times he was a 3rd string running back. You had Najee Harris getting more carries in more games, and same with Damian Harris. So Our fans are all over the board here. Allen, Oliver, White. Those are the guys. So.
Yeah, Clemson edge rushers have not really panned out in the last 10 years.
Agreed.
Shaq Lawson, Kevin Dodd, Vic Beasley,
Gaines Adams,
God,
R.I.P.
Andre Branch, Ricky Sapp.
Yeah.
Philip Merling. Wow.
Yep. Charles Bennett. Will the Bucs move McCoy for a pick? Possibly. I don't think for a pick. I think that they would take one of their draft picks and they will package McCoy with a pick to move up in a round. So we'll see if that's going to be from going from the top, near the top of the second round into the latter part of the first round, or in the taking their top of the third round pick and moving back up into the second round, something like that. That's how we envision it.
But I don't envision it at all. I mean, if it were to happen, there's no way. I just don't see a team taking on $13 million when they know that they can, sign him for $7 million as an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah.
This week on So You Thought You Could Mock the Raiders.
They just busted every mock draft bracket. It's just been busted.
They didn't trade it.
The pick is in.
Oh boy. Pick is in.
Here's the war room, Tampa Bay. Bruce looking snazzy. Yep.
Love that blazer.
Good Lord. It looks like an eye chart.
I think it's going to be Devin White.
Yeah.
There's the Lasers, Brian Ford. Buccaneers are going to get Devin White.
Wow, Ed even showed up. So our good friend Scott Bradford on the TV right there.
Yeah. Pewter Report reader.
Yeah. Matt and Chris Elmore, Matt Algieri.
Devin White.
Devin White. Man, oh man. Don't hate it.
Yep. Back on March 3rd.
Devin White is the pick. Somebody said this team is so stupid. Congrats on the call, PR. Thank you.
Yep.
Since January.
Yep, since January.
18th. By the way, the sound you hear is the typing fingers as we're pumping out the stories.
Hey, we've got a couple stories already done. Look at that.
Oh, look at that. It's already up. What? 2 stories already up on Devin White.
Yeah. Imagine that. You're getting some real inside scoop here on what we do at PeterReport.com.
Exactly. We're prepared. Well, again, from a selfish standpoint, it's going to be great because he's going to be one hell of a guy to cover. He's going to be a very, very good linebacker for the Buccaneers. Now, again, we'll know 5 years from now on this draft cast, we'll go back and we'll look at this and we'll see what Josh Allen did and what Ed Oliver did in the league.
Yep.
And
there's no doubt that he's going to be compared to those players.
But somebody just said total bust. Totally disagree.
Total
he's
bust 14 seconds after walking across the stage.
Yeah.
Like,
He didn't have the damn draft cap on yet.
unless he tripped and tore his Achilles and his ACL.
Shh, hush your mouth.
Like, he can't be.
That would be Buck's luck.
All right, so we've got 2 stories up on Devin White on PeterReport.com, including a column that I had written about why Devin White is the right fit for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, why he's the right player. White is right. And I will say this: we were early on Veta Vea last year, and had him in our first mock as well. But Devin White, we were on this guy like from day one, and the only reason why we even put Josh Allen in the mock for number 3, for mock draft number 3, was literally just to change it up, just to throw another scenario out there, just to educate fans and all that. So this guy's a culture changer. He is going to be.
I mean, I disagree with a lot of these assessments. I understand if you like Josh Allen more than you do Devin White, but you can't say Devin White's not a very, very good football player. He is. He's going to be a good football player. You need a linebacker.
Yes.
They need, and not just a linebacker. In this defense, you need an attacking linebacker.
Yes.
And
a downhill linebacker who can blitz, who can cover.
I'm just saying right now, he's better than Quan Alexander. He will be better than Quan Alexander as a rookie than Quan was last year.
Yes.
Obviously before the injury. But make sure to go to pewterreport.com right now and check out the stories that we've got up. Check it out.
Oh my gosh. Tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, they're not holding back. I tell you what, a lot of these guys are going to fall in love when they meet Devin White, when they see Devin White. He is Mr. Personality.
Yeah, he is. And
when he rides up on his horse to the
Daisy May,
you're going to really like the guy.
Interesting thing though, will he wear number 40? I texted Mike Allstott.
Somebody made a good point.
What?
Who else was going to pick White though? Could you have moved back? But we don't know if they even got any phone calls. So I mean, we can sit there. It's again, this isn't Madden football where you can override the trade and the draft button. I mean, you can't make that decision. It takes 2 to tango.
Yeah.
I actually just made that up. I'm going to copyright that 2 to tango. Have y'all ever heard that before? No. I don't think so. I just made it up.
I think Billy Madison.
Who the
Talking to the Penguins.
Who the Giants?
Here goes the Giants. Here goes the quarterback, or I'm doing the rest of the show in the banana hammock. Well, you know what? I take that back. I take that back only because I didn't expect Ed Oliver and Josh Allen to still be available right here.
Wow.
And I don't think that they did either. But I don't know that they milked their whole 10 minutes. So I think they pretty much jumped all over this. Douglas is behind on the draft, and I just told him who the Bucs picked. He's still on the Jets pick. He's like, way to go, Dad.
Somebody says, let's go banana hammock. No, let's not. Nobody wants to see your
It's a Pewter Report one.
No.
Extra
no such
small.
thing. No such thing.
And I'm wearing it backwards.
Yeah. All right, Matt. We have both those stories up if you want to like really cycle those through.
Coming out every minute.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, I need to go back in because they'll probably be calling for a press conference pretty soon.
Yep, Taylor. You want to do that, Matt? You can bring your laptop over here.
Okay, cool.
I haven't missed it.
So.
Oh wow, they went with Daniel Jones.
Boom!
No way.
Yeah, Daniel Jones.
Told you guys.
Yes.
Oh my God, the Giants are so stupid.
Yeah, well, they want the next Eli Manning. They want the next protege from David Cutcliffe.
Being 6'6" and white is so much better.
Taylor, I'm gonna move your laptop
that's
just
fine.
to see.
Just slide it wherever.
I don't want Mark's crap.
Ladies and gentlemen, for your viewing pleasure, I introduce to you Bucs beat writer and producer extraordinaire of the Theater Nation podcast, Mr. Matthew Matera.
Well, I don't know if you're going for a handshake or a right this way, but what's up, Pewter Nation? Very exciting night so far.
Yes.
Devin White, big deal. And the Giants picked Daniel Jones. That is so funny.
Yep.
Wonder how Dwayne Haskins feels about that.
Website's kind of kicking right now, some traffic. That's nice. Thank you all for visiting pewterreport.com.
I'm going to continue to post it. Yeah, thank you to everyone who is watching right now, who listens to the podcast, who reads us every day. I'm hoping you guys are enjoying what I do. I know you guys already love what Scott does and Mark does. And I know we all miss Trevor. I miss Trevor too. But we're going to keep kicking ass and taking names and just keep it rolling.
Yep, no doubt about it. So continue to do what you do and just chime in when you feel like it. By the way, Shooting Star is awesome. You mean the band or the podcast? I need some reference here. I need some clarity, Buccaneer Bruce. You like Shooting Star the band, or do you like just the Shooting Star podcast we just did? So tell me. Hang on, I gotta reply to a text here.
Yeah, do it up.
So yeah, I posted like a little bit of a brag.
As you should.
Well,
as you should.
Listen, we put an awful lot of time into this draft endeavor. We take an awful lot of pride in covering the draft better than anybody else in terms of nailing draft picks. The mock draft is really hard to do. It's hard to nail players in the mock. The Bucs' best bets give us a little bit more leeway, but when you think about it, we had Quentin Williams as the Bucs' best bet at defensive tackle. We had Josh Allen as the Bucs' best bet at outside linebacker. We got Devin White as the Bucs' best bet at inside linebacker. So now, like right out of the gate, you're 6 picks in, and 3 of those guys were already gone. We nailed 1, but if they're going to draft the defensive tackle in the 2nd or 3rd round, we're going to miss that because we said Quentin Williams would be the guy if they're going to pick a defensive tackle high. We just took a chance. We took a gamble that he might slide down there. Same with Josh Allen, and Josh Allen did. So if we're going to hit on the defensive, or I should say an outside linebacker, it's going to have to be a day 2 guy now because we missed out on Josh Allen. So that's just the way it is. It's an awful lot of work. I spend so much time watching college football. My Saturdays are consumed with it. I love the game. I love college football, not just my alma mater, Kansas State, but taping games, watching footage, using our vast network of sources here in Tampa and also around the league, trying to get the intel on these guys, and then going to the East West Shrine practices, which you guys got to go to for the first time.
First East West Shrine, great experience, being up on the field, getting to know the players a little bit more. Had some great interviews. Someone like Jimmy Moreland, who
you're not big Jimmy Moreland fans.
Yeah. We'll see day 3. Maybe he'll come to the Bucs.
James Madison, cornerback, would be an ideal slot guy. 18 interceptions. I mean, production's there. Slight build, kind of built like Javian Elliott, really size-wise. But boy, he's got some instincts.
He's got attitude.
Yeah,
he's got attitude. Big trash talker. So that's the kind of player I like. A little moxie, a little charisma, stuff like that.
Big time playmaker is what I like.
Yeah.
So. Then we go to the Senior Bowl, and we're there the whole week and doing interviews, again, working our sources, getting to know some intel about, who this team likes and who they don't like. Because a lot of this is not just who they like, but it's also a process of elimination. And then it's going to the NFL scouting combine. Trevor went last year. I went this year. Great resource to find out if these players had interviews with the Buccaneers, formal interviews or informal. Get a chance to know these guys. And this is what we do. This is a big part of what we do. I mean, when you look at the calendar, as a business cycle, football season is only 1/4 of the business model. It's really September through December. It's 4 months, and then you got 8 other months in the whole year, and you got to fill that time and fill that void. And we have really, for the last couple of decades since I've been doing this,
stuff like the Bucs battle plan.
Yeah, absolutely. It is really focusing on the draft and free agency and trying to really nail that down because, listen, Buccaneers haven't made the playoffs in 10 years. The only way they're going to make the playoffs eventually is if they get better with more talented players.
And better coaching, which they think they addressed that. I believe they did. But,
they've certainly been scrolling through the coaches every couple of years for sure. So the Jaguar selection is now, I'm going to guess that's Jawan Taylor. Oh, it's Josh Allen. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense. He's the highest player on the board. You got to take him. And I think if you're Jacksonville, holy smokes, that's That's a gift, right? Christmas
Oh,
came early to
absolutely.
get a player like Josh Allen at number 7.
It seems like every year in the draft, there's always one team, and it's normally like the Raiders or the
Mhm.
Browns or someone that always drafts that player. You're like, what?
Yeah.
And, one team making a mistake opens the door for someone else, just
Right.
like the Jaguars there. I saw a couple of mock drafts that had them linked to the Iowa tight end, but I guess that's not going to happen.
Fansided just tweeted out the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have selected Daniel Jones. Patrick Schmidt lets you know what you can expect from the quarterback.
Bit of a mistake there.
Little
Probably
bit-
need a better social media guy.
Yeah, a little bit of a
But
Twitter
what do I know?
gaff. Yeah, you're an excellent Twitter guy.
Thank
You do a
you.
great job.
Thank you.
Do we have any complaints about what Matt does on Twitter? Probably, you tweet the same stories many times. Well, too bad. We have a formula. We're sticking to it. It works.
Exactly.
Let's address some questions here and some comments. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Pewter Nation, you guys rock. We appreciate the comments we get on the stories. Don't have time to reply to them all, but we do a good job, I think, of reading the comments. Appreciate the feedback on the Pewter Nation podcast. Obviously, appreciate you guys tuning in to this. Scott, what do you say about pundits that say White doesn't get off blocks well? I think that there are times I could show you that Levante David doesn't get off blocks well. I mean, you listen. Guards are paid to get to the second level to block linebackers.
Mhm.
It's so are centers. You're not going to beat every block.
Yeah, and I would say too, because I went again this morning because I just had that feeling. I mean, we all did. A lot of us predicted Devin White going to the Bucs, so I rewatched more of his highlights today,
Right.
and I wouldn't even say he's got a problem more with shedding blocks. He's so fast, and you never want to say like, oh, a player's too fast. I just think sometimes he pursues the ball a little bit, which turns into him kind of swinging for an arm tackle kind of thing. So I wouldn't even say it's really just
Jason Light's
trying
at
to
the
shed a
podium
block.
right now, and what he's saying is that Devin White is one of the best blitzing linebackers he's seen in a long time. They're going to do a lot of blitzing in this scheme, and he says that he was their guy no matter what, and they feel very comfortable with the decision that Devin is an attacking linebacker. And again, when we started connecting the dots, there's a reason why we had him going to the Buccaneers at number 5 in the first mock draft, and that's even when Quan Alexander was not a foregone conclusion that he would not be back. There was a chance they could re-sign Quan and still take Devin White. Keep in mind,
back in the day.
yeah, Levante David, who this team loves, is 29 years old,
Mhm.
and he is going to be entering his contract year at age 30 in 2020. In 2020, not this year, but next year. So you have to pass the baton at some point in time. Not saying that Levante doesn't get re-signed. We'll wait and see. But you got to inject some youth and playmaking ability to that inside linebacker position. It's going to be 2 of them, the Mike and the Mo. Levante David will be the Mo, and you have Devin White now as your Mike.
I mean, Devin White's own coach, Coach O at LSU, sorry. I mean, he compared Devin White, and we're not saying that he's going to turn into this, but I mean, Coach O compared him to Ray Lewis, who he coached firsthand, and Patrick Willis, who he also saw up close and personal. So to be put in that comparison with, Ray Lewis is a Hall of Fame player, and Patrick Willis was one of the best linebackers when he was at his prime. To be compared in that conversation is, that's high praise. Not every single player gets that type of recognition from their coach.
Yeah.
I mean, all coaches love their players, but how many of them get compared to one of the best linebackers of all time?
Yeah, I agree. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Can you see that power cord? Can you plug that in over there?
Yeah.
Because we're about to have a technical difficulty here. That
That'd be great.
Mark was bragging about his battery power on his computer, and
What's he know?
he says this thing will last 4 hours. Okay, well, it's 2 hours and we're almost out of juice. So there we go. We want to make sure we're still live, and greatly appreciate you guys already making this a record night for us traffic wise. So hope you're enjoying the draft video cast here, and let's get to some more questions. Props to PR, another great draft prediction, great coverage draft this year, draft coverage this year was excellent. Thank you. Not done yet. Still have some more Bucks best bets and mock draft
Oh,
guys we can get. Yeah, it's always good to nail the first one though.
Yeah.
PR is the authority on the Bucks draft. Outstanding coverage every year. Thank you guys very much. I really appreciate that. spend an awful lot of time doing this. It's nice to be right. It's nice to have your homework validated, and more importantly, what makes it all worthwhile is to see the number of you guys and gals out there that are clicking on the stories and reading them, and we try to do our best to educate you guys as best we can, make you the most informed Buck fans around. And our traffic keeps growing every year thanks to you guys. I mean, by leaps and bounds. These have been 2 difficult seasons. Last 2 years have been 5 and 11. We've grown by 50,000 unique visitors in each of the last 2 years. It's 100,000 new Buccaneer fans from the Tampa Bay area, from the state of Florida, and also from around the country and around the world too, that have logged on to PeterReport.com, and we're on pace this year to have 100,000 new unique visitors to the site this year. So TJ Hawkinson goes to the Lions at pick number 8.
Right. That's who I was thinking of at the time when I was talking about the Jaguars.
Yep.
Interesting by Detroit. I mean, they got a defensive coach now. They've always had a good offense. It's really defense that struggled. But I guess now that Matt Patricia's going to his second year, he's kind of got the ropes now, everything he wants to do. I mean, he's pretty much trying to turn it into the Patriots of the Midwest.
Right. Yes, exactly.
With the practices and things like that. It's crazy, though, how all of Bill Belichick's assistant coaches that go on to coach somewhere else, they always beat him when they play each other for the first time. Yeah. But they always have like a really bad record overall. I think really only one of them that has been even moderately successful is Eric Mangini when he coached the Jets. I mean, he at least brought the Jets to the playoffs once or twice.
What is up with this? Look at this. Then you have full press NFL. Tampa Bay selects Devin White 5th overall, and there's a picture of Ed Oliver. Again,
maybe they just hired someone yesterday. Though it's the first day on the job. They don't know anything about football.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
So again, we got a story on PeterReport.com. I wrote it a couple of days ago about why Devin White would be a good fit for the Buccaneers. I list 5 reasons, so I'm not going to go into all those reasons here. Actually, I will. I'm not going to read you the whole story though. But what I will do is I'll go into the story: off-field leadership, on-field leadership, perfect scheme fit, inside linebacker is a position of need, and White brings speed to Tampa Bay. Those are some things there. We got some. We have 2 really cool videos. One's a highlight video that's pretty amazing. The other one is a great interview he did on First Take with Stephen A. Smith. It really gives you some insight about this guy, and we'll have a chance to interview him tomorrow at One Buccaneer Place. He'll have his press conference before the draft starts, so stay tuned to PeterReport.com for that. And wow, really getting some huge traffic numbers here, so greatly appreciate that.
Sweet. Yeah, I mean, since day one, since Bruce Arians got here, him and Todd Bowles preached speed, speed, speed. And Devin White had the fastest 40-yard dash time at the combine. The guy just flies. If you haven't watched his highlight tape yet, which if you're, a fan of football, college football, or you just love the Bucs and you need to know right away, and you haven't looked at his highlight tape, check it out, because there's one game, I believe they're playing either Texas A&M or Mississippi State, and the way the video was shot, it looked like he sacked the quarterback at least like 5 times. And it's not even the speed too; it's the way he's able to change directionally. He's good in coverage and just great pursuit of the ball as well. Yeah. I mean, there's so many times that the runner was out in the open. He not only caught up to him, but he would either strip the football or, it's one of those plays. It's just right at the 3rd down line. But he's a
violent player too. He's a very violent player. And I think for the old school fans that like the Hardy Nickerson middle linebacker, and for the newer fans that like Quan Alexander, and kind of the fire and brimstone they brought, and the physical, fast, aggressive mentality, you're going to like Devin White. It might take you a minute or 2 to get over Josh Allen not being the pick or Ed Oliver not being the pick. Here's what we know about Ed Oliver. They liked him. They didn't love him. I think that they really liked him, at the very end when they brought him in for the visit and they went to the pro day, but they didn't love him. And he was really never in serious contention for being at number 5. I think that if Devin White and Josh Allen are gone, I think it's a different situation, and maybe then he becomes that player that the Bucs fall back on. But let's see here. Oliver's a beast, Ray Lewis type, damn shame. Well, yeah, but I mean, not really. I mean, Ed Oliver's not really a fiery type player.
The most he got fired up was when he was yelling at his coach.
Yeah, about the jacket.
So
Devin White doesn't have the same set of stones that Nickerson did. I think time will tell. The players in defense are going to laugh at his phony ass. No, that's not true. Devin White was the heart and soul of that LSU Tigers defense, and I think that he's going to be the leader here sooner rather than later. You saw Jameis Winston come in, and it took him a quick minute to become the leader of the offense.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the quarterback position. Well, guess what? The quarterback position on the defense is the Mike linebacker spot. And Levante David had to assume a vocal leadership role last year when Quan Alexander went down, and he didn't like it. It's not his role. There's certain players in Tampa, whether it's John Lynch or Derek Brooks or Rondé Barber. When Rondé Barber was here, he was like the last man standing, right? You had Sapp and Brooks were gone.
Everyone had went on. He
was still in Tampa.
Everyone's got that seasoned veteran.
Yeah.
That, still playing with like Frank Gore right now, still playing football.
Right.
Everyone.
And I knew
sold him off
Rondé really well, and I know Rondé, and he would tell me, he's like, I don't want to be a leader. Everyone's looking at me. I don't want to be the guy.
It's not for everyone,
It's not for him.
That's why they have the saying. It's like, too many leaders, not enough followers.
Yeah.
And that's what makes a team, It takes every single player on the roster.
And I think that the Levante David's going to welcome him with open arms.
There's no question. He's going to help him out, be a mentor, which will be huge. That's something Jameis could never have,
right?
Because he's just the starting
and
quarterback.
He's going to tell Devin, he's going to say, "Hey, man, you get him going." You get him going. And I think that's going to be the role. And I think the other thing too is Ed Oliver to the Bills. The Bills are thrilled to get Ed Oliver. Thrilled that he fell that far, and especially since he didn't go to the Jets. If you're the Bills, that's the last thing you want, is the guy you covet to go to your division rival, right?
Yeah.
So,
welcome back.
All right. So we've got Ed Oliver to the Jets. To the Bills. To the Bills. Sorry.
So what else happened?
Hawkinson went to the Lions at 8.
Josh Allen went to
the Jaguars at 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. So we're
gonna
gonna
have a conference call soon with Devin White. So
okay.
Do you want to do that, Matt? Well, no. You need to I'll work with Taylor on that.
Okay.
Get Jason up.
Yep.
And unless you want me to talk about what Jason had to say, you read my tweets.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, why don't you sit down for like a quick minute and just tell the readers what Jason had to say, and then you guys can cover the conference call.
You just go out there. You be ready, because it's going to be in the media room, and you don't want to miss it.
Yeah, get your recorders and just
go.
It.
Yep. But well, I mean, Jason Leiden, I asked him specifically about the Raiders' surprise move and having Oliver and Allen both available, if that gave them any room for pause making that decision. And he said, no, absolutely not. That was their guy all along. They liked Devin White. And so I think we can say Quinnen Williams, maybe one.
Yeah.
And then Devin White. I think Devin has moved up the chain a little bit there on the Bucs wish list. What I mean?
I thought Devin White was number 3 all along.
Yeah.
I think it was Quinnen Williams, Bosa, and then Devin White, obviously over Josh Allen. And, and I even wrote that in the Insider today. I tried to give you all some hints that thought that was the case.
Right.
Was that don't be surprised if it's White over Allen, and that's exactly how it turned out to be.
Yeah. Jason also said, look, he can do it all. I asked him what deficiencies or some things that White might need to work on in the NFL. And he says, listen, he hasn't even been here, played it down.
Yeah.
Let's talk about his positives, and then we'll be critical of him later on.
Yeah.
But he said he doesn't have many, whatever they are.
Yeah.
I mean, he said every player that comes to the league has some deficiencies.
And we had a viewer made a statement, or maybe it's a question that said he doesn't do a great job of getting off blocks. But the reality of it is I can pull. We can make a highlight tape, or I guess a low light tape of Levante David getting blocked last year, and he is a seasoned veteran who's been to Pro Bowls.
Sometimes guys lose.
Yeah.
Sometimes you lose.
Yeah, and that's what we said. Guards and centers, their job, they're paid to block linebackers at the second level. That's their job. You're not going to win every time. And sure that shows up. But what I do like about Devin White is he's fast as hell. He can run around some with this speed. There's some centers and guards that just aren't going to be able to catch him and cut off his pursuit angle. The other thing is he is a solidly built 240 pounds. I mean, you've seen the build this guy has. I mean, and listen, we both like Quan Alexander. I'm not trying to knock Quan, but Devin White's better player than Quan is. But when we saw Quan Alexander in December, right at the end of the season, at his locker room with just his shorts on, didn't have a shirt on, and Quan's not the biggest guy to begin with. I'm telling you, Mark, what did we say? He looked like he was 220 pounds.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, maybe 215. He looks so skinny.
And, he lost a lot of muscle and things like that, and a lot of weight. But the fact he's doing the rehab and he couldn't, lift a lot and do a lot of things like that. So, that's certainly factored into that. But
when you look at the size of Devin White compared to Quan Alexander, I mean, you're talking a 15-pound difference. Yeah. I mean, easy. And so I think that's going to help Devin hold up against the run and take
bigger
on
guy,
guys.
but also a faster guy.
Yeah,
so you're getting the best of both worlds there with a guy like Devin White. Jason also obviously mentioned how he lights up the room. He has a personality.
Right.
When he came and visited the team, he just told the guys upstairs, it just feels right to be in Tampa. He had a brother that was a Bucs fan. Devin White had a Bucs jersey as a kid.
Yep.
He said it just makes sense that he comes to Tampa. And Jason said, he can cover, he can tackle. There's really nothing that he can't do, and he was going to be their guy all along.
Yeah, and it's funny because I tweeted out this this little tweet that I had when Devin White ran his 4.42 in the 40-yard dash on March 3rd at the Combine. I said, Tampa Bay Bucks linebacker Devin White just blazed the 4.42 in the 40-yard dash. And, I mean, we've known for a long time that they really coveted this guy.
I asked Jason, too, if having a Todd Bowles 3-4 scheme factored into it as well. And Jason said it's a perfect marriage when it comes to that, because they certainly do like attacking linebackers, and they think he's an exceptional blitzer from the middle. But he said he would have been a good linebacker in a 4-3 in really any scheme.
Sure.
So,
hey, Matt, why don't you pop out and listen to Devin?
Yeah.
Along with Taylor, and then we'll have both you guys can come in and give some commentary about what Devin has to say.
Well, sorry. So what have I missed? I guess you've caught me up on everything. We got a trade right now.
Yep.
Steelers are the 10th.
This is going to be for Devin Bush.
I think.
Yep. They need a linebacker really bad, I think. And it's surprising, though, because the Broncos were pegged to get either Devin White or Devin Bush and let him walk. And I think that what the Steelers don't want is their division rival Cincinnati to get Devin Bush.
Right.
That's what they don't want, because they got to fill a hole at the inside linebacker spot, because they got rid of Montes Sweat. And guess what? The Steelers have had a hole ever since Ryan Shazier had that injury. So they need a linebacker. And so this is a desperation move here. It's a good move, but it's also a desperation move to get up ahead of a division rival and say, nope, you're not going to get – we don't want to have to face Devin Bush, the guy we like, twice a year in the division.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a good move for the Steelers. I mean, we don't know what they're giving up. We can't hear what the TV's saying, but we'll find out shortly.
Were you a Celtics fan at all?
Me?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
John Havlicek just passed away.
Oh, darn it.
79 years old.
Okay, I wasn't a Celtics fan in the 60s, so I wasn't even born yet. Nice try.
Devin Bush. Yep, called it.
Devin Bush is a guy. What's the compensation? That's interesting to me.
Yeah. Steelers sending pick number 20 and 52. Okay, so that's first and second round pick, and a 2020 third round pick to Denver.
You don't know what that pick is yet, though.
No.
So they basically they swapped, and they sent a second rounder this year.
Yep.
To move up 10 spots. Where were they at?
They were in the latter parts of this. Yeah, I think they were around 20, 21, something like that.
Okay.
Or what? Well, I think I just said it. I think they were at 20, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, pick number 20 and 52. Mean Joe Green. Remember the Coke commercial?
Yep.
Yeah.
Threw the kid the jersey.
Yep.
They said he had to drink like 40 Cokes before they got that down. He literally was drinking the Cokes.
Yep. Devin Bush. There you go.
He's probably diabetic now because of that.
Devin Bush looking like MC Hammer or some type of like early 90s.
Did he cut his mullet off?
No, he
still got
it.
it. Okay, good.
That is quite the outfit, though. I don't even know what that is.
No.
It looks like
Kind of like a lump, not a lump, but like a fur trapper in the 1800s.
yeah, without like the fur.
Yeah.
It's kind of like those things like you and I didn't have them for our kids, but like they have these little harnesses to hold kids,
Yeah.
or to even do breastfeeding, like
Right.
a little breastfeeding hider thingy.
Yes.
It's like he's wearing that. It's like a sling, but it's not a sling.
Kind of looks like he was in that 80s band Cameo as well.
Yes,
Potentially.
yes.
Yeah.
Look real nice, wrapped
Word
up
up.
tight.
Yes.
It's like candy.
Keep singing. I'm just going to watch TV.
That's
wow.
my favorite song.
There's a band? I've missed this part of it. Are
What?
you? There was a guy playing guitar back in the background there.
Oh, it's Nashville. Of course, there's a band playing.
Oh, Lord, it's probably Florida Georgia line playing.
Okay, let's get back to some questions here. What did Quan and his leadership give us? The worst defense ever. Now we're trying to replace him. Okay, well, yeah. Not crying, but disappointed as we are projecting White to be great after he refines his tackling instincts and coverage, but he's a great leader, so there's that. Listen, guys, holy smokes. I'll have to go into the story here. All right. 133 tackles in 2017, 123 tackles last year. All right. So how many tackles did he miss if he's getting 133
Right.
tackles and 123 in the last 2 years? That's 256 tackles in the last 2 years.
12 for loss, 6 pass breakups,
Yep.
3 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries. I
Yes.
mean, and listen, I joke a lot about the SEC, but it is the toughest conference, and I mean, it's the most competitive conference,
Yeah.
I think, in college football. I mean, he's doing this against the Alabamas and the Auburns of the
Yeah.
world. And
I mean, he's trying to tackle Benny Snell. He's trying to tackle Jordan Scarlett,
Yeah.
Najee Harris, Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
He was chasing, probably chasing Alvin Kamara, one of those years.
right.
So here's really what sold me on Devin White. Ed Ogeron, who was the LSU head coach, and of course he's going to vouch for his guy, right? That doesn't make that's not a stretch. That makes a lot of sense. But Ed Ogeron, who is I think coached at every university except for Florida State and Kansas State,
Every all of those
Right,
two.
yeah.
Yes.
He coached Ray Lewis at Miami. He was part of that staff
Mm-hmm.
when Ray Lewis was there, so he had firsthand knowledge about Ray Lewis as a Hurricane. He also coached at Ole Miss
Patrick
when
Willis.
Patrick Willis was there.
Yeah.
So he has firsthand knowledge about Patrick Willis. So if the guy that's coached both of those players that Devin White is being compared to says, and I quote, "I've been a part of Ray Lewis. I've been a part of Patrick Willis, and he's right there. He's one of the best I've ever been a part of as middle linebackers go. He's very talented, and I think he's still getting better."
Yeah, it's a pretty good endorsement. And
Yeah.
again, okay, he coached the guy, so he's going to talk him up a little bit. But you and I know this, Scott. College coaches, once those guys are done, it doesn't really put many feathers in their cap to brag about a guy to get him drafted higher than they should be. Those guys are done at that school, right? So, they don't have to be, they don't have to say those things. They don't have to say those things. They're not recruiting them anymore. If he was not good, or if then he's good. But I'm saying, I don't think he's exaggerating when he says those things. In other words,
I agree.
it's not a huge advantage for him to do that. He wants to see, every school wants to see their players get drafted and drafted high, and they can go on the recruiting trail and say, "Hey, we had a linebacker drafted 5th overall." But I don't know that he's going to blatantly lie if he doesn't truly believe that. And look, the Buccaneers believe it, and Bruce Arians believes it, and Todd Bowles believes it, and Jason Light believe it. So if they're wrong, they're wrong. Only time is going to tell. But this was, to me,
Jonah Williams
safe,
to the Bengals right here.
Very safe pick.
Yep.
There's no bust with him. Okay, he may not be a Hall of Fame guy,
Right.
and he's not going to be a 17 sack guy.
You
but-
know what? You know where his ceiling is, in my opinion? His ceiling is Levante David.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, his floor. His floor is Levante David. I think that at worst, he is going to be a guy that is a borderline Pro Bowl guy
Right.
that has kind of Pro Bowl production, but
Right.
doesn't maybe do enough in terms of splash plays or whatever to get there. I think that's the floor.
Yeah.
For
That's your
for Devin
worst
White,
case scenario.
is that they've got another Levante David.
Right.
Yeah. In my opinion, and I think that he has the ability because he's faster than Levante.
Sure.
And I think he's a more explosive player. He's bigger than Levante.
Mm-hmm.
And again, he hasn't played it down in the NFL yet. He's got a lot to learn. And Levante David is one of my favorite players I've covered.
And Jason said Levante David's the perfect guy that's going to reach out. He's going to be his big brother. And Jason said, I can't think of anybody I would rather have to help mentor Devin White.
And he did it with Quan.
Yeah.
He took Quan under his wing. Quan is like his little brother. So
Jason said there's something in the water at LSU, though, with linebackers.
Well, let's see. They've got Kendall Beckwith on the team, Kevin Minter on the team, and
They
now
had Quan.
they had Quan, and now they've got Devin White.
Mhm.
So yes, agreed. Anything else that Jason?
I don't think there was anything real revealing. It was, it was a typical press conference. Big smile at the beginning. I think the most revealing thing to me is that it was Devin White all along.
Yeah.
I mean, I think obviously, Quentin Williams falls. Then it's a discussion, and I think they take Williams there. But there, from the way his body language was and what he said, there was no hesitation. At that point, I think the only fear was perhaps the Raiders taking him at 4. I think that was the only thing that they were concerned about.
Yep. And I think that, listen, if the Raiders at the end of the day, if they're going to draft Cleveland Farrell, I think that them bringing in Devin White was just trying to game Tampa